আমি একটা রেডি করে দিচ্ছি।
এই দেখুন ছবি, দেখুন একটা ছেলেকে দেখুন ভাঙড়ে, জাস্ট সি দ্য অ্যাট্রসিটিস। ভাঙড়ে দেখুন অ্যাট্রসিটিস, দেখুন চোখে দেখতে পাচ্ছেন, এইভাবে পুলিশ মেরেছে। ওসি ভাঙড়ের এবং ওসি ইজ রেসপন্সিবল ফর দিস। এইভাবে অত্যাচার করেছে। এরপরেও মানুষ ওদের ভোট দেবে, এরপরেও মানুষ ওদের ভোট দেবে। देखिए कैसे हमारा वर्कर को पिटाया रात में। ऑफिसर इंचार्ज विजयगंज पुलिस स्टेशन भांगड़, जस्ट देखिए जो एट्रोसिटी, कैन यू सी? देखिए देखिए, एक क्या गुंडाराज चल रहा है, देश को बेच दिया। ऐसे वोट कभी होता है? ऐसे कभी वोट नहीं होता है। वोट शांति से होता है, लोकतंत्र डेमोक्रेसी का फेस्टिवल होता है। लेकिन ये तो लोकतंत्र को पूरा बालोटा बजा दिया, पूरा इसको एट्रोसिटीज कर दिया। इंटेंशन इज वेरी क्लियर that BJP wants that forcefully to rig the election. But our workers and people are ready to die, but they will not leave the place.
In fact, the Chief Minister there, President Ranjan, I think there is a huge statement that's being made by the Chief Minister. She going ahead and saying that BJP is planning to rig and our workers are ready to die. So it is being put into a do or die kind of a situation.
It's a very interesting scene. Anyone who is aware of the ground, so this is about Bhangur she was talking about, right? And Bhangur is probably the crude bomb capital of India. I mean, every time you'll see throughout the year, this place is always disturbed. So I don't think that the allegation is correct. TMC will win from that area because of the demography. The only thing is that the poll to ensure that the election is free and fair, the EC is taking the law and order measures. I mean, there is no way Bhangur can be won by BJP. I mean, take it from me. The demography doesn't suggest that. So this is overall in South 24 Parganas, due to demography, TMC has age. I mean, very strong age. So that things are there. What is being done is that, West Bengal has very difficult situations. Like in poll, as I was telling you, that electioneering is a concept here. It means area domination. It means rigging, institutionalization of rigging. And unfortunately, the ruling party does it. It is over here that has been the situation. So, which means that the state administration, police administration plays a role. Normally, that has been normalized. So this year, we are seeing a serious disruption in the poll management. And that is why the ruling party is upset. That is why they are tensed.
Right. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi is in Varanasi. He is, in fact, engaged with the religious rituals associated with the temple there. The Prime Minister visiting Varanasi and has been part of his itinerary as well. He has been given a grand welcome by the administration of the temple there, and also he engaged with the religious rituals associated with the temple and was also participated in that. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has in fact will be attending later in the day. He's on a 2-day visit to Varanasi as well, and The Prime Minister is said to, in fact, going to inaugurate around 163 projects that were supposed to be for this particular region, and these projects are supposed to, in fact, bring in a lot of development, especially when it comes to infrastructure as such. The Prime Minister's effort to, in fact, ensure that the move would be to go ahead and carry these projects and inaugurations and laying foundation stones for construction of new roads, railway bridges, flyovers and widening of roads as well. Series of infrastructure projects that have been lined up for this particular day, and its inauguration also being looked into. The Prime Minister is on a 2-day visit to Uttar Pradesh, and these projects, as I said, would span multiple sectors including rail, road, water, healthcare, tourism and urban infrastructure. Meanwhile, the big inauguration that will be looked into is the 594-kilometer long access controlled greenfield Ganga Expressway in Hardoi. Now, this has been built at a cost of around 36,230 crores. Ganga Expressway significantly will reduce travel time between Meerut and Prayagraj from the current 10 to 12 hours to approximately 6 hours. A key highlight of the provision of the 3.5-kilometer long emergency landing facility in Shahjahanpur as well. Meanwhile, going back to the elections in West Bengal, Sajid Roy, you have in fact heard what Mamata said, a crucial question being asked about this factor of the elections, where she's saying that there is an attempt to rig the elections. A big statement coming in from the West Bengal Chief Minister, and she said that her party workers are ready to die for it, to ensure that there is fair elections. A big statement coming in from the Chief Minister. A lot of departures from her traditional matter, moving from poll station to poll station, trying to in fact directly monitor the situation. Looks like it's a spirited fight on the ground.
Well, Varghese, it's a massive allegation coming in from Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, where she is alleging that the BJP has ruined the democracy, and the BJP in fact, the observers as well as the CRPF on ground are intimidating the Trinamool Congress party workers, and she alleged that several of the Trinamool Congress party workers have been picked up from their residence last night, and she said that she and Abhishek Banerjee was awake the entire night. In fact, while speaking to the correspondents over there, she in fact showed the visuals where she alleging that one of the Trinamool Congress party worker in fact was beaten by the police, and she says that last night the observers that has been appointed by the ECI is pressurizing the local police to arrest the TMC cadres, and she says that the observers have been brought in from different parts of the country who does not understand the demography of West Bengal, or does not understand how much sensitive West Bengal is politically. And Varghese, we are seeing that she was talking about the Bhangur constituency. Now, Varghese, the battle is definitely interesting. See, there has been anti-incumbency against Mamata Banerjee. There has been a series of corruption allegation against the Trinamool Congress government, and if you look at the job scam, it definitely reached...
in fact, let's listen into what the Chief Minister had said.
एक क्या गुंडाराज चल रहा है, देश को बेच दिया। ऐसे वोट कभी होता है, ऐसे कभी वोट नहीं होता है। वोट शांति से होता है, लोकतंत्र डेमोक्रेसी का फेस्टिवल होता है, लेकिन ये तो लोकतंत्र को पूरा बालोटा बजा दिया, पूरा इसको एट्रोसिटीज कर दिया। Intention is very clear that BJP wants that forcefully to rig the election. But our workers and people are ready to die but they will not leave the place.
Well, that's all in this edition of the Bulletin. Stay tuned to News 9 for further news updates.
Water overflowing, what could it be?
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
नए बिरला ओपस एक्सटीरियर पेंट पे 16 साल तक की वारंटी।
कौन मानता है?
मैं मानता हूँ।
मैं भी मानता हूँ। जिसने भी लिया मानता है। नया बिरला ओपस पेंट दे रहा है 16 साल तक की वारंटी, इसलिए तो है नए जमाने का नया पेंट।
After a blockbuster first season, where corporate giants and industry leaders rule the court, TV9 Network presents the ultimate corporate badminton championship season 2. A battle of skill, speed and supremacy, with a massive 5 lakh rupee prize pool across categories. At Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy, Gachibowli, Hyderabad, from the 15th to the 17th May 2026. The court is set. Let the battles begin. Catch the action only on TV9 Network. To register, log on to www.tv9x.com.
Associate sponsor KL deemed to be university. Special partners Campus Sure, Shukar hai, Sure hai. Venue partner Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
An unusual and significant move by Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on polling day. For the first time, Mamata Banerjee is travelling from booth to booth. Now, she is said to be closely monitoring the voting on the ground and is a clear departure from her usual practice of staying at home and tracking developments remotely. Now, sources say that the Chief Minister is making direct booth visits across key pockets, signaling how seriously the TMC is viewing this crucial phase. This is for the first time that the Chief Minister is in fact making booth-level visits. Earlier, the norm was for the Chief Minister to in fact stay back at her home and monitor the situation remotely. But now the Chief Minister in fact making booth-to-booth visits and speaking with the poll agents herself. She is in fact on a departure from her usual move of being at home. Speaking exclusively to TV9, Mamata lambas central forces and election observers on polling day, accusing them of acting at the BJP's behest, disrupting the voting atmosphere and as well as targeting TMC workers. Now, claiming outsiders were interfering, TMC party flags were removed and local leaders were being prevented from moving freely. Banerjee questioned whether free and fair voting was taking place, even saying that she and Abhishek Banerjee were awake throughout the night monitoring the developments. Listen to what she had to tell TV9.
কোন কোন জায়গাগুলোয় সব জায়গায় সারা বেঙ্গলে সিআরপিএফ আর অবজারভাররা কোর্টের অর্ডার থাকতে বলতে কোর্টের অর্ডার মানব না, আমাদের সমস্ত ছেলে তুলে নিচ্ছে। সাধারণত আপনি ভোট দিতে বেরোন, কোনোদিন আপনাকে মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর পদে দাঁড়িয়ে থেকে রাস্তায় এখন ক্যান্ডিডেট হিসেবে ঘুরছি। দিস ইজ নট মুখ্যমন্ত্রী। যদি কাল সারা রাত কি অত্যাচার করেছে দেখবে, তুমি একটা ছবি দেখবে, আমি এখন দেখাবো না, দেখলে ঠিক আছে। কোন কোন জায়গাগুলোয়? সব জায়গায়, সারা বেঙ্গলে সিআরপিএফ আর অবজারভাররা কোর্টের অর্ডার থাকতে বলছে কোর্টের অর্ডার মানব না, আমাদের সমস্ত ছেলে তুলে নিচ্ছে। সাধারণত আপনি ভোট দিতে বেরোন, কোনোদিন আপনাকে মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর পদে দাঁড়িয়ে থেকে রাস্তায় এখন ক্যান্ডিডেট হিসেবে ঘুরছি। দিস ইজ নট মুখ্যমন্ত্রী। যদি কাল ছাড়া
In fact, as of now, what we understand is that clashes have in fact flared in West Bengal's Howrah district after a reported EVM glitch triggered a clash in Bali. Now, according to initial inputs, the technical snag led to an argument between locals which quickly escalated into a confrontation at the polling station. CRPF personnel deployed at the booth stepped in to control the situation and detained 2 individuals in connection with the incident. Authorities are now monitoring the situation closely as polling continues under tight security. Look into the situation. Our colleague Suman Mahapatra is reporting from the ground live from Dum Dum Assembly constituency. Suman Mahapatra, how is the situation at Dum Dum Assembly constituency? How is it that people are there early in the morning, and is there any sort of violence that have been reported from the constituency yet?
If you ask me about Dum Dum Assembly, this is peaceful as of now, and also the large number of voters are coming out from their home in this early morning and they are casting their vote. And you can see the long lines by my video journalist Arid Basu. He's showing you the pictures, the visuals from the ground zero, that people are voting in a large number, and as like the first phase, in the second phase also the people are voting for something that there is a SIR effect and all, and for that reason only the high percentage of voting share will be shown this time also as per the morning source, the day prediction. And now let me tell you that few incidents have been reported from Uttar Chobbish Pargona and Dakhin Chobbish Pargona. In Uttar Chobbish Pargona, Minakha Degonga, in early morning there was chaos, and also from Dakhin Chobbish Pargana, South Chobbish Pargana, the Canning East and the Bhangor location. On those places there were few problems, and also in this Dum Dum the few problems are there, like EVM is not working in many booths, and also slow voting is happening. For that reason only you can see the long queue outside of the voting booth. Also, let me tell you about the great battle of Bhabanipur that is happening between Mamata Banerjee and Subendu Adhikari. Mamata Banerjee already stated few allegations against the election commission and also the administration that a councillor is forced to be at his place and he can't come out. These allegations came from Mamata Banerjee. Also, Mamata Banerjee acknowledged that Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee both were awake for the whole night because there were certain problems. So this is the scenario as of now from Bengal, that in the second phase where TMC is fighting in their in their battlefield, because the first phase was where BJP was strong. Now this is the strong place of Trinamool Congress. In Kolkata there are few ministers, and also South Chobbish Pargona, North Chobbish Pargona, Howrah, Hooghly. These are the main seats that Trinamool owned earlier. So this is the scenario as of now. No violence reported, no massive violence reported from anywhere.
All right. We are also joined in by Pratip Ranjan Bose, senior journalist, who joins us with us. Pratip Ranjan Bose, how important is it for TMC in the second phase? Most of them are the strongholds that it considers to be its backyard, but the BJP has always been trying to ensure that these backyards are the ones where they pose the challenge. How important is the second phase for TMC?
Obviously, in this 142 seats, BJP had only 18, if you go by the last poll. So, so that tells you that why TMC is so keen to protect its bastion. And if you look at Calcutta, Howrah, the South 24 Parganas, so these are the places where BJP doesn't exist. Now they have to open the account over here, and there is high opportunity. And the South 24, for example, your reporter named places like Minakha, Degonga, Bhangor, right? Some clashes. Now, these are the places which are literally run by parallel administration. Okay, so that the EC is ensuring polls that so far there is no casualty. See, last year in the previous election, before pre-poll, there were at least 20 deaths. This time, 0 death. So that tells you the improvement in situation and why such a heavy law and order is necessary. I think this time the BJP TMC is contesting to this is the phase where that will determine their fate in the government. So whether they are forming the government or not. So that tells you why they are so desperate.
Also, we are joined in by my colleague Sabya Sachiroy. Sabya, this is the first time an unusual move on the part of the Chief Minister. She's going from booths to booth. That tells a lot, isn't it?
Well, that's right, Verghese. See, we can understand the battle has been extremely tight between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress, and Mamata Banerjee, I think for the first time, is on the ground during the polls. Traditionally, she will be at home. She monitors the situation from home and she does not visit the ground. And this would be the first time that she is on the ground. And earlier today, she went to meet Firad Hakim, as well as late after that, she went on to different polling booths in Kolkata, and she's currently on ground. Now, Verghese, huge allegation from Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee against the Observer as well as the CRPF, and Mamata Banerjee said that she and Abhishek Banerjee, both of them stayed awake the entire night because of the situation, and she also alleged that several of the Trinamool Congress party workers are being picked up illegally by the central forces from different areas. And she says that before the poll began today, the party flags even were pulled down by unknown men, and she alleges that this has been happening under the notice of the CRPF and the observers. And she also says that the polling observers are working on behalf of the Bharatiya Janata Party. See, Verghese, this time it's a tight contest, because from Mamata Banerjee, if you look at the strategy from the Trinamool Congress, she has been terming the Bharatiya Janata Party as an outsider. She also said that once the BJP comes, then they won't allow the Bengalis to eat fish. Now, to counter that, Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself visited several significant areas in West Bengal. He visited Belur Math, he visited Kali Mandir, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in fact, from the stage himself clarified that if the BJP and government comes, then there would be no stop on fish eating. And he says that wherever NDA or BJP government is there, the fishing industry is booming. So we have seen Tele Bhaja versus Jalmuri Jai between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Trinamool Congress, and the Bhabanipur this time makes it extremely interesting, because Verghese, in 2024 in Bhabanipur there are total 8 municipal corporations, and out of 8, in 5 municipal corporations BJP had taken a lead, and the Trinamool Congress Assembly segment also in 2024 Lok Sabha polls had come down to roughly 8,000. So yes, there is a strong battle in Bhabanipur, but also there is an advantage for Mamata Banerjee because of the local connection that she has in Bhabanipur on ground.
Right. Suman Mahapatra, one crucial question over here is this. What is the polls actually being fought on? Is it about the core Bengali identity? Because you had the issue about fish being raised, as my colleague was saying, and also about outsiders. Is it this core identity of the Bengali being pitched with regards to governance, larger integration, more development? How is it being played out in this election? Suman Mahapatra.
See, there is a Bengali word called Bagali Oshmita, that means the core identity of Bengali, that is there. And also, let me tell you that the outsider allegation that has been alleged by Trinamool Congress for the BJP leaders who are coming to here to do their campaign and all, like the chief ministers of other states also. So, Trinamool Congress, from the very first phase, they have conveyed that the chief ministers are coming to campaign here, they are nothing but outsiders. Also, the core Bengali identity is a crucial point here, and also after the SIR, the main issue is that how to be in the voter list, because Trinamool Congress from the very first they have alleged that SIR is a conspiracy from BJP and they are trying to cut out the voter from the voter list. So this is the battle here, and from the first phase, you know, the elections are becoming violence free, because this is the election where Bengalis are voting for Trinamool Congress to save their Bengali identity. Also, there is a certain anti-incumbency is there. So many people are thinking that there is need of a change. So they are voting for BJP. And maximum votes are the silent votes. Undercurrent voters will determine that who will win the Bengal chair.
Right, Suman Pathamato, taking that particular aspect of yours, Pratim Ranjan Bose, the senior journalist who's been with us as well. These are in fact visuals that are coming off Mamata Banerjee at a polling station seated outside. Now, it's said to be a complete departure of sorts on the part of the Chief Minister. Is it about the survival aspect of TMC, or is the fight on the ground that much bigger when it comes to the stakes in West Bengal?
May I respond?
Yeah, sure.
So, this election is contested on completely different fundamentals. We saw in phase one some 20 lakh odd voters which came out of sleeping mode and voted, right? And these are Hindu voters. If we go by the calculation, so the net addition is Hindu vote. Same case in West Bengal, same case in phase 2, and look at Calcutta. Otherwise, it is the subaltern that decides the fate of the vote. But this time, and you know what we call as Bhadraloks, or the apartment dwellers, let me put it.
শান্তিতে দিক, কারণ ভোটটা মানুষ শান্তিতে দিক। তার কারণ হচ্ছে এটা মানুষের অধিকার রক্ষার প্রশ্ন।
কথা বললে কি হবে? কথা বলছি কেন সবাই? বন্ধ করো না কথা।
তোমাদের কম্পিটিশন কমাও, তবে আমি এত খালি গলায় বলবো। দেখুন, আমি চাই, আমাদের দলও চায়, আমি এখনো যে চেয়ারে আছি বা দলের চেয়ারেও আছি, আমি চেয়ারম্যান অফ অল ইন্ডিয়া তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস বলছি, আমরা চাই ভোটটা শান্তিতে হোক, মানুষের অধিকার প্রয়োগ করতে দেয়া হোক। কিন্তু বিশেষ করে কতগুলো অবজারভার নিয়ে আসা হয়েছে বিভিন্ন জায়গা থেকে, এবং অনেক পুলিশ অফিসার নিয়ে আসা হয়েছে যারা বাংলাকে বোঝে না। যেমন গতকাল রাত্রে যে অত্যাচার করেছে সারা বাংলা জুড়ে, আমি কিন্তু সারা রাত জেগেছিলাম, এবং অবজারভাররা থানায় গিয়ে প্রেসার ক্রিয়েট করছে শুধু আমাদের পার্টিকে টার্গেট করে, যে সব তৃণমূল কংগ্রেসের এজেন্টকে গ্রেপ্তার করো। ব্লক প্রেসিডেন্ট, আমার ইউথের ব্লক প্রেসিডেন্টকে সকালেও অ্যারেস্ট করেছিল, আমাকে যার জন্য চেতলায় যেতে হয়েছিল। থানায় আমি যাইনি, ববি গিয়ে ছাড়িয়ে নিয়েছে। বাড়িতে কালকে রাত্রিবেলা, বাবা এটা 17 নম্বর ওয়ার্ডের কাউন্সিলর, তার বাড়িতে গিয়ে রাত্রি 2টোর সময় সিআরপিএফ এর একদল গুন্ডা, সরি নট গুন্ডা, সিআরপিএফ ফোর্স, উইদাউট স্টেট পুলিশ, উইদাউট লোকাল পুলিশ, দে অ্যাটাকড হিজ হাউস। এবং ওর বউ একা বাড়িতে ছিল বাচ্চাকে নিয়ে। ওর বউ যখন বলেছে বাবাই বাড়িতে নেই, সত্যিও ছিল না, পার্টির কাজে অন্য জায়গায় ছিল, তখন ওদের বাড়িতে লাথি মেরে ওর ফোন কেড়ে নিয়ে বলেছে যেন বাবাই যেন কোনো কাজ না করে। আমি আপনাদের দেখাতে পারি ওর বাড়িতে রাত্রিবেলায় ভাই এ নয় কত দরকার, একটা হলেই তো হবে।
এ নাই একটা দাও না, কতগুলো?
তুমি তো সবচেয়ে উল্টো পাল্টা করো। দেখুন কাল রাত্রিরে বাবার বাড়িতে গিয়ে আরে গলাটা শুনবে কি করে তোমরা এত কথা বললে? দেখুন বাবার বাড়িতে গিয়ে দেখুন কি করছে রাত্রি 1:30টায়। ওর বউ ছিল, মোবাইল টোবাইল স্ন্যাচ করে নিয়েছে। এবার আপনাদের আমি একটা ছবি দেখাবো দেখুন। আমি তাহলে কিছু ছবি
আমি একটা রেডি করে দিচ্ছি।
এই দেখুন ছবি দেখুন, একটা ছেলেকে দেখুন ভাঙড়ে, জাস্ট সি দ্য অ্যাট্রসিটিস। ভাঙড়ে দেখুন অ্যাট্রসিটিস, দেখুন চোখে দেখতে পাচ্ছেন এইভাবে পুলিশ মেরেছে। ওসি ভাঙড়ের এবং ওসি ইজ রেসপন্সিবল ফর দিস। এইভাবে অত্যাচার করেছে। এরপরেও মানুষ ওদের ভোট দেবে? এরপরেও মানুষ ওদের ভোট দেবে? देखिए कैसे हमारा वर्कर को पिटा है रात में। ऑफिसर इंचार्ज विजयगंज पुलिस स्टेशन भांगोर। जस्ट देखिए जो एट्रोसिटीज, कैन यू सी इट? देखिए देखिए एक क्या गुंडाराज चल रहा है, देश को बेच दिया। ऐसे वोट कभी होता है? ऐसे कभी वोट नहीं होता है। वोट शांति से होता है। लोकतंत्र डेमोक्रेसी का फेस्टिवल होता है, लेकिन ये तो लोकतंत्र को पूरा बालोटा बजा दिया, पूरा इसको एट्रोसिटीज कर दिया। Intention is very clear that BJP wants that forcefully to rig the election, but our workers and people are ready to die, but they will not leave the place.
In fact, the Chief Minister there, President Ranjan, I think there is a huge statement that's being made by the Chief Minister. She going ahead and saying that BJP is planning to rig and our workers are ready to die. So it is being put into a do or die kind of a situation.
It's a very interesting scene. Anyone who is aware of the ground. So this is about Bhangur she was talking about, right? And Bhangur is probably the crude bomb capital of India. I mean, every time you'll see throughout the year, this place is always disturbed. So I don't think that the allegation is correct. TMC will win from that area because of the demography. The only thing is that the poll to ensure that the election is free and fair, the EC is taking the law and order measures. I mean, there is no way Bhangur can be won by BJP. I mean, take it from me. The demography doesn't suggest that. So this is overall in South 24 Parganas, due to demography, TMC has age. I mean, very strong age. So that things are there. What is being done is that West Bengal has very difficult situations, like in poll, as I was telling you, that electioneering is a concept here. It means area domination. It means rigging, institutionalization of rigging. And unfortunately, the ruling party does it. It is over here that has been the situation. So, which means that the state administration, police administration plays a role. Normally, that has been normalized. So, this year we are seeing a serious disruption in the poll management. And that is why the ruling party is upset. That is why they are tensed.
Right. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi is in Varanasi. He is, in fact, engaged with the religious rituals associated with the temple there. The Prime Minister visiting Varanasi and has been part of his itinerary as well. He has been given a grand welcome by the administration of the temple there, and also he engaged with the religious rituals associated with the temple. Well, that's all in this edition of the Bulletin. Stay tuned to News 9 for further news updates.
Walk down Cool Street.
When you're hot, we'll cool you down on Cool Street. On Cool Street. On Cool Street.
Ooh, I'm cool. Chill your bill. I'm cool. Chill your bill.
I'm cool. Chill your bill.
Bhaskar, our first order. Help us build the chutney business from label to website.
In Assam, the debate over infiltration is back.
এইটি হইছে বিজেপির সংকল্প, এআই হইছে বিজেপির প্রতিজ্ঞা।
Will NRC settle the question of identity?
दोनों चाहते हैं कि डरा कर धमका कर इस देश की जनता पर राज करें।
Or will the fight over borders will shape this election?
From the ground, the questions that matter, the voices that shape the vote. India votes only on News 9.
Welcome to this edition of the AI Report.
Accepted.
Amid a fragile ceasefire, stakeholders take on the tough questions.
Was Israel surprised by the asymmetric warfare which Iran started conducting?
Yes, I think it was kind of surprised the level of savagery.
Why has Iran stopped the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz?
So we have to defend ourselves.
Like never before, on point with Kartikeya Sharma, decoding Hormuz, Kharg, and the ceasefire.
What is the future of peace in West Asia?
I hope that they got their lesson.
That are supposed to give a chance. We stay ready in case it doesn't work.
Every war has a political objective.
The voices that matter only on News 9. This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Hello and a very warm welcome. I'm Nancy Bora and you're watching News 9 headlines first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives at Sri Kashi Vishwanath Temple to offer prayers, set to inaugurate Uttar Pradesh's largest expressway, Ganga Expressway.
देवेभ्यो विदेवेभ्यो देवेभ्यो विदधाति ददाति विदेवेभ्यो देवेभ्यो विदधाति.
After historic phase 1 turnout, all eyes are now on Bengal phase 2 voting. BJP tests TMC's fortress in crucial 142 seats that could shape the outcome for Bengal. Mamata, Abhishek Banerjee cast their votes. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee visits polling booths in her Bhabanipur Assembly constituency. In a first, CM accuses BJP of rigging polls. EVM glitch sparks clashes at polling booth in Howrah's Bali. CRPF personnel detained 2 people. Violence start to voting in second phase of Bengal polls. BJP agent alleges that he was stopped outside booth and assaulted by TMC supporters. Trouble mounts for UP's Singham in West Bengal. PIL filed in Supreme Court seeking the immediate removal of Ajaypal Sharma as a police observer for West Bengal polls. US President Donald Trump instructs aides to prepare for an extended blockade of Iran. According to the Wall Street Journal, Donald Trump opts to continue squeezing Iran's economy and oil exports by preventing shipping to and from its ports. And our top focus at this hour is the poll-bound state of West Bengal, where Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is making rounds in a first at polling booths. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has launched a sharp attack over alleged poll violence, accusing the BJP of trying to forcefully rig the election. Pointing to an injured party worker, Banerjee questioned what she called hooliganism on voting day, saying that elections are meant to be a peaceful festival of democracy, not a battleground. The TMC chief also struck a defiant note, saying that her workers would stand their ground despite intimidation. Her remarks adds to the charged atmosphere surrounding this crucial phase of polling, an unusual and significant move from Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee on polling day.
एक क्या गुंडाराज चल रहा है, देश को बेच दिया। ऐसे वोट कभी होता है, ऐसे कभी वोट नहीं होता है। वोट शांति से होता है, लोकतंत्र डेमोक्रेसी का फेस्टिवल होता है, लेकिन ये तो लोकतंत्र को पूरा बालोटा बजा दिया, पूरा इसको एट्रोसिटीज कर दिया। Intention is very clear that BJP wants that forcefully to rig the election. But our workers and people are ready to die, but they will not leave the place.
And for the first time, Mamata Banerjee is travelling from booth to booth, closely monitoring voting on the ground, a clear departure from her usual practice of staying home and tracking developments remotely. She was seen outside a polling station in Bhabanipur as the state votes in the final phase of election. Mamata Banerjee, who is contesting from the Bhabanipur Assembly constituency, briefly interacted with officials and assessed the situation outside the booth. Her visit has drawn significant attention, with Bhabanipur emerging as a key battleground in this phase of polling. Speaking exclusive to TV9, Mamata lambasted central forces and election observers on polling day, accusing them of acting at the BJP's behest, disrupting the voting atmosphere and targeting TMC workers. Claiming outsiders were interfering, TMC party flags were removed and local leaders were being prevented from moving freely. Banerjee questioned whether free and fair voting was taking place, even saying that she and Abhishek Banerjee were awake through the night monitoring developments. Listen in to what she said in this exclusive interview.
কোন কোন জায়গাগুলোয়
সব জায়গায় সারা বেঙ্গলে সিআরপিএফ আর অবজারভাররা কোর্টের অর্ডার থাকতে বলতে কোর্টের অর্ডার মানব না, আমাদের সমস্ত ছেলে তুলে নিচ্ছে।
সাধারণত আপনি ভোট দিতে বেরোন, কোনোদিন আপনাকে মুখ্যমন্ত্রীর পদে দাঁড়িয়ে থেকে রাস্তায়
ক্যান্ডিডেট হিসেবে ঘুরছি। দিস ইজ নট মুখ্যমন্ত্রী। যদি
आप देख सकते हैं उनका काफिला का ये काफिला है, यहाँ पे ये गाड़ी है और सामने शुभेंदु अधिकारी है, और ये पहली बार हुआ है। ऑब्जर्वर से यहाँ पे सीआरपीएफ भी पहुंच चुके हैं, वो भी यहाँ पे बातचीत कर रहे हैं। आपको एक बार फिर से दिखा देते हैं, ये बिल्डिंग जो है यहाँ पे ममता बनर्जी अंदर बैठे हुए हैं, और यहाँ पे आप देखिए यहाँ पे जो सेंट्रल फोर्सेज है वो सेंट्रल फोर्स ये दिखा रहा है कि शुभेंदु अधिकारी वहां मीडिया से बात कर रहे हैं। तो पहली बार ऐसे हो रहा है कि एक विपक्ष के नेता और मुख्यमंत्री आमने सामने हैं चुनाव के दिन, जो कि पश्चिम बंगाल की राजनीति में चुनाव के दिन कभी नहीं हुआ है। यहाँ पे सेंट्रल फोर्स है। सर क्या सिचुएशन है?
सिचुएशन नॉर्मल है, एवरीथिंग पूरे
विपक्ष के नेता और मुख्यमंत्री आमने सामने हैं और आप कह रहे हैं नॉर्मल?
नहीं, मुझे उनके बारे में जानकारी नहीं। मेरा जो वोट मतदाता को कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग के लिए उसमें
लेकिन रास्ता तो पूरा ब्लॉक है, ये भी
तुरंत क्लियर हो जाएगा तुरंत।
आप लोग सूचना मिलने के बाद यहाँ पे आए? आपका नाम सर?
नहीं, मैं बताऊंगा। मैं
चलिए, यहाँ पे सीआरपीएफ कह रहा है कि सिचुएशन नॉर्मल है, लेकिन फिर से मैं कह रहा हूँ कि ये बिल्डिंग आपको और एक बार दिखा देते हैं कि बिल्डिंग ये है जिस बिल्डिंग में ममता बनर्जी बैठी हुई है और ये काफिला जो है शुभेंदु अधिकारी का है। पश्चिम बंगाल के इतिहास में पहली बार शायद ऐसा हुआ है। मैं फिर से दोहरा रहा हूँ, 2011 में जब परिवर्तन भी आ रहे थे ऐसा सिचुएशन नहीं दिखने को मिला, और आज यहाँ पे जैसे ममता बनर्जी पहुंचे, शुभेंदु अधिकारी पहुंच गए यहाँ पे, दोनों का आमना सामना हुआ है। हालांकि दोनों ने एक दूसरे को नहीं देखा है, लेकिन शुभेंदु अधिकारी ये आरोप लगा के यहाँ पे पहुंचे कि क्यों ममता बनर्जी यहाँ पे पहुंची है, और ममता बनर्जी यहाँ पे बैठी हुई है ये कहते हुए कि पुलिस इनके ऑब्जर्वर्स जो है उनको कल रात से उठाना शुरू किए हैं। उन्होंने मोबाइल पे भी ये दिखाया है। मामला गर्मा गया है और सबसे बड़ी बात है भवानीपुर जो हाई वोल्टेज था वो काफी ज्यादा हाई वोल्टेज में चला गया है।
I'm being joined by my colleague Sabyasachi Rai Chaudhary from Newsroom for more on this. Sabyasachi, a big face-off is now unfolding in Bhabanipur. We have Subhendu Adhikari and we have Mamata Banerjee at the same polling booth. They have not come face-to-face, but Mamata Banerjee is making serious allegation in a first and a rare movement. She is now travelling from booths to booths to monitor the situation on the ground, and she has made serious allegations saying that the forces are targeting TMC workers and that they are acting on the behest of BJP.
Well, Nancy, it's a rare situation where the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has come face to face with Leader of Opposition Subhendu Adhikari, because back in 2021 also when Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee fought against Subhendu Adhikari in Nandigram, that time also they did not come face to face, but in Bhabanipur constituency, where once again Subhendu Adhikari, who is the Leader of Opposition, and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee are fighting against each other, they came face to face, and the roads has been completely blocked. Mamata Banerjee is sitting in one of the building, whereas the Leader of Opposition Subhendu Adhikari, who is also in that particular area, is visiting the polling booth. Now, Subhendu Adhikari also have alleged that several sections of the BNS are imposed on ground. So Mamata Banerjee cannot have so many people along with her when she is visiting a polling booth across her constituency. Now things are definitely heating up, Nancy, because serious allegation has come in from Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee against the BJP, against the observers and the CRPF. Now Mamata Banerjee says that the BJP is ruining the democracy. She says that election is a festival in democracy, and she says that several of the Trinamool Congress party workers are being continuously targeted, and pressure is being created by the observers on the local police to arrest or detain the Trinamool Congress party workers. In fact, at the time when she was speaking to the media, she also showed visuals where she is alleging that one of the party worker was allegedly beaten yesterday late in the night, and she said both her and Abhishek Banerjee were awake the entire night, and she said that all her party posters and flags were towed down by unidentified men, but she claims that this was done by the BJP workers, and she says that the ECI has turned mute spectators. Now she says that the BJP is trying to rig votes in the second phase. Now we all know, Nancy, that during the second phase there are more sensitive and volatile constituencies which are going for polls already. Several of the constituencies have reported violence and clashes between the Trinamool Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party, but I would say it is relatively less in comparison to 2021. The CRPF has been massively deployed on ground, but Mamata Banerjee clearly breaking the tradition where when the time she has come into power, we have not seen Mamata Banerjee stepping out of her residence and visiting the ground, visiting polling booth. But this time she has broken that tradition and she is on the ground. She is visiting polling stations. There was also visuals coming in where she was sitting outside one of the polling booths. Now, why is Mamata Banerjee out? Mamata Banerjee is alleging that the BJP is trying to rig votes, and that is the reason why the TMC Supremo is currently on ground.
Sabyasachi, stay with me. We have a reaction coming in from Suvendu Adhikari. Let's listen into it quickly.
यहाँ इतना ये तो 163 है, ये इतना लोग लेकर क्यों ममता बनर्जी घूम रहा है? ममता बनर्जी क्यों घूम रहा है इधर? शुभेंदु दा कुछ व्यवस्था लेंगे आप? अब देखिए निर्वाचन एक इधर आदमी तो यहाँ इतना ये तो 163 है, ये इतना लोग लेकर क्यों ममता बनर्जी घूम रहा है? ममता बनर्जी क्यों घूम रहा है इधर? शुभेंदु दा कुछ व्यवस्था लेंगे आप? अब देखिए निर्वाचन एक इधर आदमी
I am being joined by my colleague Madhu Kalpita she's live from Bhabanipur Assembly. Madhu Kalpita, what is happening? What's the mood right now in Bhabanipur? We are getting the information that Mamata Banerjee and Suvendu Adhikari both are at the same polling booth, a political face-off unfolding in West Bengal.
एक्चुअली देखिए, अभी मैं जहां पे खड़ी हूं, मैं एक बार दिखाने की कोशिश करूंगा। ये जो बिल्डिंग है इसके अंदर है, अभी तृणमूल के जो कैंडिडेट है ममता बनर्जी वो इस बिल्डिंग में है, और बाहर कुछ ही समय पहले बीजेपी के जो कैंडिडेट शुभेंदु अधिकारी वो थे। और एक बात और एक तस्वीर मैं जो दिखाना चाहूंगी, अभी बाहर सेंट्रल फोर्स, पूरा इलाके में सेंट्रल फोर्स छाए हुए है, क्योंकि अंदर ममता बनर्जी है। और एक तस्वीर दिखा रही हूँ, और एक तस्वीर जहाँ पे अंदर ममता बनर्जी है, उधर ही बाहर पुलिस और सेंट्रल फोर्स पूरा इलाका घेर लिया है। आप देख सकते हो, कुछ ही समय पहले यहाँ पर बीजेपी का जो कैंडिडेट है शुभेंदु अधिकारी वो आए थे, क्योंकि अंदर ममता बनर्जी है। और अभी भवानीपुर का ये जो चक्रोबेरिया एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन है, चक्रोबेरिया, इधर पे आप देख सकते हो। ये तस्वीर मैं एक बार आपको समझाने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ। मैं जहाँ पे खड़ी हूँ ये चक्रोबेरिया है, और इधर के बाहर है पुलिस और सेंट्रल फोर्स। अंदर ये जो बिल्डिंग है देख सकते हो, ममता बनर्जी का जो पर्सनल सिक्योरिटी है, पूरा इलाका, पूरा जगह उन्होंने घेर लिया है। इसी बिल्डिंग के अंदर ही है ममता बनर्जी। वो इधर सुबह से आज इधर ही बैठे थे, सुबह से आज इधर ही वो यहाँ पे ही है। और अचानक से यहाँ पर बीजेपी का कैंडिडेट शुभेंदु अधिकारी वो आ गए। उससे पहले और एक बार आप देख सकते हो, तृणमूल का कैंडिडेट जो स्टेट का चीफ मिनिस्टर ममता बनर्जी अंदर है, तो बाहर ये सेंट्रल फोर्स और सिक्योरिटी आप देख सकते हो। दिखा रही हूँ मैं, आप ये तस्वीर देख सकते हो जहाँ पे वो खड़ी है। यहाँ से कुछ ही मीटर दूरी में ममता बनर्जी अंदर बैठे हैं। बाहर पुलिस है, सेंट्रल फोर्स है। भवानीपुर इस बार हाई वोल्टेज जो सेंटर है, हाई वोल्टेज है यहाँ पे, क्योंकि ममता बनर्जी सिटिंग सीएम और एलओपी अर्थात लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन शुभेंदु अधिकारी दोनों आमने सामने लड़ रहा है इसी सेंटर से, भवानीपुर से। और भवानीपुर आज सुबह से ही यहाँ से बहुत सारा एलिगेशन आ रहे थे कि बहुत सारे टीएमसी के जो काउंसिलर है उनको डराया गया था, धमकाया गया था। इसी वजह से ममता बनर्जी सुबह से इधर ही बैठे थे। और कुछ ही समय पहले जब वो अंदर गए थे, तब हमने जो तस्वीर देखा इधर पे, जो बीजेपी का जो कैंडिडेट है शुभेंदु अधिकारी, वो अचानक से यहाँ पे आ गया। और आने के बाद पूरा इलाका सेंट्रल फोर्स से पुलिस पूरा इलाका घेर लिया था। और एक बात बहुत ही जरूरी है, क्योंकि इस भवानीपुर में पूरे देश का नजर इसी केंद्र में है, क्योंकि सिटिंग सीएम के साथ इधर पे लड़ाई हो रहा है एलओपी लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन शुभेंदु अधिकारी का।
Well, thank you, Madhu Kalpita. Stay with me. I am being joined by senior journalist Nirmalaya Mukherjee is also with me on the broadcast. Mr. Mukherjee, a political face-off is unfolding in Bhabanipur. We have Mamata Banerjee and we have Suvendu Adhikari at the same polling booth station. Earlier, Mamata Banerjee decided to take matter in her own hands in a rare move. She is now travelling from polling booths to polling booths, and she has accused the BJP of rigging the election. So she is now on the ground to monitor the situation herself. How do you see this development?
You see, I told you that in my previous broadcast that this is the battle royal.
Right.
The entire state is focused on this particular constituency of 1,60,000 electorate or a little more. But the point is that what Mamata Banerjee, I see, when Mamata Banerjee was the MP, she used to travel from booth to booth because her party was not in power at that point. When she came to power in 2011, then also in the first phase, in 2011, she traveled from booth to booth. From 2016 onwards, she stopped that because she was so sure that she is going to win. So in 2021, she went to Nandigram, and after that, she lost there and she came back and again won from a by-election. But this time, I think Mamata Banerjee is a little disturbed. I have heard this from her after a very long time as a journalist in the last 4.5 decades, that the opposite party is rigging the polls. This she used to say. She used to call it scientific rigging and chappa vote and all these things during the CPM regime. When she came to power, she virtually forgot about it. Now, this shows her it could be her frustration, or she is very much disturbed, or she is not comfortable overall. So she is traveling from booth to booth because Shubhendu Adhikari, who was once a close associate of Mamata Banerjee and had lived with her for almost 23 years, Shubhendu knows how Mamata fights, how she fights. He knows all the techniques, the strategy. So Shubhendu is giving her a good fight, and she wants to see that on the ground. So she is a little disturbed and she has come out from her home and she is traveling from booth to booth. Like the Mamata we knew, the fighter Mamata. Please don't forget, the fighter Mamata continues to be a fighter. I always consider her as a fighter on the ground level. Even during these summer times, very hot days, she covered 110 meetings, which is Narendra Modi covered only 18 and Mr. Amit Shah 66. She alone did it 110. So she is definitely a person on the ground level. She will not move an inch. She will not budge 1 inch from her position unless the results are out. I don't know what.
नहीं वो कैसे कर सकता है? आप लोग क्यों नहीं बोल रहे Well, high drama unfolding at Bhabanipur constituencies polling booth as Mamata Banerjee is there at the ground. Shubhendu Adhikari is also at Bhabanipur polling booth. He's there to cast his vote. And Mr. Mukherjee, high drama unfolding in Bhabanipur as of now. After the phase 1 voter turnout, it was historic voter turnout, and after that phase 1 voter turnout, I think BJP had struck a very confident tone with Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah claiming that Bengal wants change, hence the higher voter turnout. TMC on the other hand said that this is in defiance of the SIR and the voters' names being deleted. And Mamata Banerjee is on the ground and she is making serious allegations. She is saying that BJP is trying to rig the elections, and she has also gone out to say that TMC workers are being targeted by the security forces and voters are being threatened to not vote in favor of TMC. As you were pointing it out, do you think that TMC this time around is slightly nervous because phase 2 is known as TMC's southern fortress?
Yes, that is the main problem. TMC this time is a little nervous. They are feeling a little jerky because you see this polling percentage in the first.
क्या ममता दीदी डर रही है? कितना बार बोलूं मैं?
काम करने दीजिए ना, मैं तो कोऑपरेट कर रहा हूँ।
दादा क्या कहना
एक
चाहिए
क्वेश्चन।
जिस तरह से आप बूथ घूम रहे हैं, क्या अभी तक की परिस्थिति है? ममता बनर्जी खुद बैठ गई है जाके बूथ सेंटर में, क्या कहना चाहेंगे? बूथ सेंटर में जाके खुद क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
क्या करना चाहेंगे उसको पूछिए ना, मुझे क्यों पूछ रहा? वो क्या बैठेगा, क्या खड़ा होगा, किसको डराएगा, किसको प्यार करेगा, वो उनको पूछिए ना। मुझे पूछने का कोई जरूरत नहीं।
तो क्या
मैं तो देख रहा हूँ वोट अच्छा हो रहा है। अब तक 25% वोट पड़ गया है, 9 पड़ जाएगा। जनता जाग चुका है, ये जाने वाला है।
तो क्या डराने के लिए बैठी है ऐसे किसी को?
उसको बोलिए 77 वार्ड में जाने की। यहाँ क्यों घुस रहा है? ये डराने के लिए हिंदू वोटर को।
वो वार्ड 70 का बार-बार जिक्र कर रही है। वार्ड 70 का जिक्र कर रही है।
Political reactions coming in from Suvendu Adhikari and Mamata Banerjee. They are at the polling station. A political face-off expected. Both the leaders at the same time at the same polling booth. Mr. Mukherjee, please continue. As you were saying, the TMC this time around is looking quite bit nervous.
Because of this heavy polling, you see, this polling has got two mandates. One is anti-SIR, what the Trinamool is saying, and one is for change, what
Right.
is BJP is saying. One thing is that Hindu consolidation is at its highest level. The votes that are coming in, mostly they are Hindu votes, and that is what Suvendu Adhikari is also saying. What I feel is that this time Mamata Banerjee is on the streets because she is a little nervous. This is Mamata Banerjee as a ruler. I have never seen her come out like this. Mamata Banerjee as an opposition leader during the left front regime, she used to move from booth to booth. But she is a fighter. You have to accept it. And even at this age, the way she goes around, she is visiting all these places. Now the point is that how far Suvendu Adhikari can impact, because there are around 8 wards of these, 6 wards are fully Bengali and non-Bengali Hindu voters. They are overtly, Suvendu feels that they are overtly going to vote for BJP, and Mamata is concentrated in a few Muslim pockets. But that too is, she is not very sure, because the Muslims have not left her, but they are aggrieved with her because lot of their wishes have not been fulfilled. So she knows on the ground level that she is slipping. So these kinds of allegations she is making, and when the vote is half or the middle way, that BJP is rigging polls, this kind of allegations, again I'm telling you, she used to make during the CPM times, the left front times, when she was an opposition leader. Today I see her behaving not as a ruler, as an opposition leader. She's sitting on the streets, she's sitting before houses, she's camping here, she's camping there, everywhere. That she's on the move. This is really a rare feat I'm seeing. After so many years, Mamata has come out on the road to fight, to save her own party and the elections. But definitely, she's trying to do as much as possible, because this is her heartland. You know, this is the main pillar, these 142 seats, the main mixture, because Trinamool got 123 seats here and BJP only 18. So if BJP gains 50% and Trinamool falls by 50%, that is going to be a big difference. The amount of polling is so much. If it crosses 94% or touches 95%, then definitely it is for change, and it is not a mandate against the SIR, because the surveys that have come, sir, the last survey shows that 77% of the people are happy with SIR. I don't know what is going to be the fate, but at the moment, definitely it's a high drama, as you call it, and Mamata is definitely, the way she is behaving, it seems that she is losing ground. Had she been confident, she wouldn't have come out on the streets to fight her elections.
Okay, thank you so much, Nirmalya Mukherjee, for joining me on the broadcast. For now, intense political showdown unfolding in Bhabanipur Assembly constituency. But with that, it's time for us to slip into a quick commercial breather. Keep watching News9.
Water overflowing, what could it be?
कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
After a blockbuster first season, where corporate giants and industry leaders ruled the court, TV9 Network presents the ultimate corporate badminton championship season 2. A battle of skill, speed and supremacy, with a massive 5 lakh rupee prize pool across categories at Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy, Gachibowli, Hyderabad, from the 15th to the 17th May 2026. The court is set. Let the battles begin. Catch the action only on TV9 Network. To register, log on to www.tv9x.com.
Associate sponsor KL deemed to be university. Special partners Campa Sure, Shukar hai, Sure hai. Venue partner Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy.
नए बिरला ओपस एक्सटीरियर पेंट पे 16 साल तक की वारंटी.
कौन मानता है?
मैं मानता हूँ.
मैं भी
मानता हूँ. जिसने भी लिया मानता है. नया बिरला ओपस पेंट दे रहा है 16 साल तक की वारंटी. इसलिए तो है नए जमाने का नया पेंट.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi to offer prayers during his visit to the city. Visuals showed the Prime Minister performing darshan and taking part in puja rituals at the temple, one of the most revered shrines dedicated to Lord Shiva and a major spiritual center in Varanasi. During the visit, the Prime Minister Modi offered prayers and sought blessings at the temple complex. Security arrangements had been tightened in and around the area as devotees and local residents gathered nearby. The visit came amid a packed schedule, with the Prime Minister continuing a series of engagements in his parliamentary constituencies of Varanasi. Later in the day, Prime Minister will inaugurate the Ganga Expressway in Hardoi district. And as Bengal votes for the Phase 2 elections, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Varanasi offering prayers at spiritual center of Varanasi, Kashi Vishwanath temple. Visuals coming in of early morning prayers conducted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He has a tight packed schedule, where later in the day Prime Minister will also inaugurate the Ganga Expressway in Hardoi district in Varanasi.
देवेभ्यो देवेभ्यो विदधाति ददाति विदेवेभ्यो देवेभ्यो विदधाति भ्यो भागं भाग देवेभ्यो मे.
Now shifting our focus, a major fire broke out at a housing society in Ghaziabad's Gaur Green Avenue. The blaze initially started on the 9th floor of the 13th story building. Subsequently, the fire spread rapidly, engulfing approximately 6 to 7 flats. Around 7 flats have been completely reduced to ashes. More than 20 fire tenders are currently present at the scene, working to extinguish the flames. Fortunately, as soon as the fire erupted, all residents present in the affected homes managed to evacuate safely. No one remains trapped inside. The intensity of the fire was such that it spread from one tower to an adjacent one, engulfing 2 additional flats. The entire society has been evacuated. It is suspected that the fire was caused by a circuit issue or a short circuit. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has taken cognizance of the fire incident in Ghaziabad district. Chief Minister instructed officials to immediately reach the scene and expedite relief operations.
गाजियाबाद की गौर ग्रीन एवेन्यू सोसाइटी में बुधवार सुबह
फ्लैट में अचानक आग लग गई। आप देख सकते हैं आग कितनी ज्यादा है। 9वें फ्लोर पर पहले ये आग लगी और 13 फ्लोर की ये मंजिल है। धीरे धीरे ये आग ऊपर की तरफ बढ़ी और देखेंगे आप लगभग 7 से ज्यादा जो फ्लैट हैं वो इस आग की चपेट में आकर पूरी तरीके की खाक हो चुके हैं। अभी भी आग घरों जो फ्लैट हैं उनके बाहर किस तरीके से लपटें निकल रही है आप देख सकते हैं। 20 से ज्यादा फायर टेंडर्स इस वक्त मौके पर मौजूद हैं और आग को बुझाने की जो कोशिश है उसको अभी किया जा रहा है। आप देख सकते हैं कि आग कितनी ज्यादा है। लगभग 9 बजे के आसपास ये आग लगी थी और इसके बाद ये जो आग थी वो धीरे धीरे जो दूसरे फ्लोर्स पर फैली और उसके बाद लगभग 6 से 7 फ्लैट को अपनी चपेट में ले लिया। आप देख सकते हैं आग का विकराल रूप, धुआं काफी ऊपर तक आसमान में जा रहा है और जो लोग इन फ्लैट्स में थे, पूरी बिल्डिंग में थे, टावर में, वो लोग काफी तेजी से बाहर निकले। फिलहाल पूरी सोसाइटी को यहां पर इन फ्लैट से निकाल दिया गया, उनको खाली करा दिया गया, लेकिन आप देखेंगे कि अभी भी जो आग है वो अपने विकराल रूप में है। 20 से ज्यादा जो फायर टेंडर्स हैं पूरी तरीके से ये लगभग 7 जो फ्लैट हैं वो आग में जलकर राख हो चुके हैं। फायर टेंडर्स पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि आग पर काबू पाया जा सके, लेकिन आग लगातार बढ़ती जा रही है। आग की लपटें आप देख सकते हैं कि कितनी ज्यादा है। धू धू करके ये पूरी बिल्डिंग जो है अब आग की चपेट में आ रही है। 7 से ज्यादा फ्लैट, जो दूसरा टावर था उसको भी आग ने अपनी चपेट में ले लिया है। फिलहाल आग पर काबू करने की यहां पर कोशिश की जा रही है।
Meanwhile, continuing his marathon temple visits ahead of the Tamil Nadu Assembly Election results, TV ke Chief Vijay is scheduled to visit the Shirdi Sai Baba temple today. This comes after his earlier visits to the revered Tiruchendur Murugan temple, which holds significant religious importance in the state. The timing of these temple visits is being closely watched as they come just ahead of the May 4th elections, marking TVK's debut in Tamil Nadu politics. The visits are being seen as both spiritual engagements and a politically symbolic move during a crucial phase of the party. Meanwhile, heavy police security is expected to be deployed across the temple premise and surrounding areas to manage crowds and ensure law and order during the visit. And now on to Karnataka, where the State Education Department has banned inappropriate and obscene dances in school and cultural programs. The Karnataka Department of School Education and Literacy has issued a statewide circular banning obscene or vulgar dance performances during school cultural events and annual day celebrations. The order, effective immediately, mandates that all education institutions, including government-aided and private schools, must ensure that programs are value-based and reflect the state's rich cultural heritage and moral standards. This circular comes in the backdrop of recent complaints regarding students performing to popular film songs with inappropriate lyrics or choreography. Under the law, new guidelines, school heads and management committees will be held directly responsible for the selection of songs and dance themes. The department has encouraged schools to prioritize classical music, folk arts and patriotic themes to foster a more wholesome educational environment, warning that any violation of these standards will lead to strict disciplinary action against the school administration. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has drawn a firm constitutional line on the management of religious institutions while hearing a batch of petitions linked to the Sabrimala temple case. A 9-judge constitution bench led by Chief Justice Suryakant has made it clear that while religious bodies have the right to manage their affairs, the authority cannot operate without structure or override constitutional principles. The court underlined that there cannot be a situation of unchecked functioning within religious spaces. It emphasized that every institution, whether temple or a dargah, must have clearly defined modalities and norms to ensure orderly functioning. Regulation, the bench observed, is essential not only for management but also for maintaining balance between faith and constitutional values. At the same time, the court stressed that such regulatory powers cannot cross the boundaries set by the Constitution. Practices that violate principles like equality and non-discrimination remain subject to judicial scrutiny. The observation comes as the bench examines broader questions around religious freedoms, essential practices and the rights of denominations. The proceedings also touched upon arguments related to Sufi traditions and denominational rights within Islam, highlighting the diversity of religious practices in India. However, the court indicated that the challenge of defining what constitutes as essential religious practice, noting that judicial forums may find it difficult to lay down rigid parameters. This hearing gains significance in the backdrop of the 2018 verdict which allowed entry of women of all age groups into the Sabrimala temple, striking down earlier restrictions. With the matter now before a larger bench, the focus is on balancing religious autonomy with constitutional morality. The final outcome could have far-reaching implications not just for Sabrimala but for the governance of religious institutions across the country. And with that, it's time for us to slip into a quick commercial breather. Keep watching News9.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Bhaskar, our first order. Help us build the chutney business from label to website.
Ahead of 2026 West Bengal Assembly Election, polarization in West Bengal sharpens.
TMC सरकार के जाने का काउंटडाउन शुरू हो चुका है।
हम डिटेक्ट, डिलीट और डिपोर्ट ये पॉलिसी के तहत एक घुसपैठियों को बंगाल के बाहर निकालने का काम करेंगे।
There are 3 prime issues: citizenship, border, identity. Is it the Nirmam Sarkar versus May J. Babu?
যতই করো হামলা জিতবে কিন্তু বাংলা।
Who will retain the throne in West Bengal? Can West Bengal look beyond the muddy water of violent politics?
From the ground, the questions that matter, the voices that shape the vote. India votes, only on News9. This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
And now, in a major development for global energy markets, the United Arab Emirates has announced that it will exit the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, dealing a significant blow to the oil producers bloc. The decision, confirmed by Energy Minister Suhail Al-Mazroul, is being described as a strategic shift aligned with the UAE's long-term energy goals. The exit comes amid rising tensions in West Asia, with the ongoing Iran war disrupting supply routes, especially through the critical Strait of Hormuz. Despite being OPEC's 4th largest producer, the UAE says that its departure will not significantly impact markets immediately, given existing supply constraints. But for India, the implications could be mixed. As a major oil importer, India could see short-term relief if increased UAE supply pushes prices down. However, if OPEC coordination weakens and producers act independently, it could lead to greater price volatility in the medium term, complicating fuel pricing and economic planning. The move also reflects a larger shift in the global energy landscape. With rising US shale production, the push towards renewable energy and diverging national priorities, OPEC's traditional grip on oil markets has already been under pressure. The UAE's exit signals a move towards a more fragmented and competitive energy order, where no single group fully controls supply dynamics. From the UAE's perspectives, the strategy appears pragmatic, maximizing revenues in the current high-demand environment while continuing to invest in diversification and future energy sectors to reduce long-term dependence on oil. With global spare capacity tight and geopolitical risks high, the UAE's decision could have far-reaching implications for oil markets, pricing stability, and global energy power equations.
What does it mean for India in terms of its own oil supply?
Buys a lot of oil from OPEC countries as a whole, and also from Russia, since the sanction has been lifted temporarily on Russia. As far as the UAE is concerned, India has a special relationship with the UAE, further strengthened through the FTA with the UAE. So India's oil supply, I don't think, will be affected very much by the UAE's exit from the OPEC. As far as OPEC is concerned, which was set up in 1960, which has had many members walking out, suspending their membership, going back again. So this has been going on for a long time. And there are many countries like Indonesia, for instance, other countries which have suspended their membership, then gone back. So UAE may also rejoin the OPEC at some point of time in future, after things come back to normalcy. The last point I wanted to mention is that the UAE is apparently miffed with the lack of support in terms of political support and military support from the other GCC countries, primarily Saudi Arabia, in the face of Iranian attacks on the assets which were located in the UAE during the last few weeks. So this could be a way of their expressing their resentment and disappointment with Saudi Arabia in particular, but also Kuwait and the other GCC countries. And that is why it has walked out of OPEC. The last point I wanted to mention is that OPEC was set up by Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Venezuela, the 5 countries. And these still remain. And there are, with UAE's exit from May 1, there would be 5 other countries from Africa. So it could also be a way of showing that the UAE doesn't want itself to associate with Iran in any way at the present juncture.
Meanwhile, Britain's King Charles told the US Congress on Tuesday that despite an age of uncertainty and conflict in Europe and the West Asia, the UK and the US will always be staunch allies united in defending democracy.
Our differences, whatever disagreements we may have, we stand united in our commitment to uphold democracy, to protect all our people from harm, and to salute the courage of those who daily risk their lives in the service of our countries. The story of the United Kingdom and the United States is at its heart a story of reconciliation, renewal, and remarkable partnership. From the bitter divisions of 250 years ago, we forged a friendship that has grown into one of the most consequential alliances in human history. I pray with all my heart that our alliance will continue to defend our shared values with our partners in Europe and the Commonwealth and across the world. And that we ignore the clarion calls to become ever more inward-looking.
King Charles told the US Congress that the same unyielding resolve seen after the September 11, 2001 attacks on the United States was needed for the defense of Ukraine and her most courageous people in order to secure a truly just and lasting peace.
In the immediate aftermath of 9/11, when NATO invoked Article 5 for the first time, and the United Nations Security Council was united in the face of terror, we answered the call together, as our people have done so for more than a century, shoulder to shoulder, through 2 world wars, the Cold War, Afghanistan, and moments that have defined our shared security. Today, Mr. Speaker, that same unyielding resolve is needed for the defense of Ukraine and her most courageous people. It is needed in order to secure a truly just and lasting peace. From the depths of the Atlantic to the disastrously melting ice caps of the Arctic, the commitment and expertise of the United States Armed Forces and its allies lie at the heart of NATO, pledged to each other's defense, protecting our citizens and interests, keeping North Americans and Europeans safe from our common adversaries.
And now, while it still remains unclear when the Strait of Hormuz will reopen, the US Navy boarded and intercepted a suspected commercial vessel in the Arabian Sea. In a post on X, CENTCOM said that US Marines from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit boarded the commercial ship MV Blue Star 3, which was suspected of attempting to transit to Iran in violation of the US blockade on Iranian ports. However, after conducting a search and confirming that the vessel's voyage did not include an Iranian port call, US forces released the ship. American forces continue to operate across West Asia to enforce the blockade. So far, 39 vessels have been redirected to ensure compliance. And now, as the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah continues despite the US-brokered ceasefire, the 1.2 million displaced Lebanese are sinking into a state of despair, like Rabi Kharis and his family, who are barely surviving in a tent in the capital Beirut, having fled their home in early March just before the south began to be bombarded. Have a look at this report.
Rabia Kharis and his family, including 9 children, have been living in a tent in Beirut. Like hundreds of thousands of others, they used to live in southern Lebanon. There, the mechanic fixed cars in his workshop to put food on the table. But on March the 2nd, Hezbollah militants fired into Israel after the Israeli-US attacks on Iran began. Worried about retaliation, Kharis rushed his family out with only the clothes on their backs. Israeli strikes on the south, including their town of Hiam, began within moments. What Kharis did not predict is that 2 months on, they would still be living on Beirut's streets, relying on donations.
But I told you that without work, this is not a life. I'm a man who likes to work. I like to produce. I don't like someone bringing me a sandwich. I like to earn it myself, from my own sweat and toil. But we're left with nothing. We don't have money, clothes, or belongings, and we were forced to sit in such a place. May God grant us peace so we can return to our village.
Despite a US-brokered ceasefire, Israel has continued striking Lebanon. Its troops have occupied a strip of the south, destroying homes they say are Hezbollah infrastructure. That includes in Hiam, which is now almost entirely flattened. Hezbollah, meanwhile, has kept up attacks on Israeli troops in Lebanon and northern Israel. Israel and Hezbollah accuse each other of breaching the ceasefire, which was signed by the Israeli and Lebanese governments, but not specifically by Hezbollah. The war has displaced some 1.2 million people across Lebanon, and the continuing hostilities are deepening their sense of despair. Kharis's sister is also living with the family. She has cancer and is struggling to find health care. And one of Kharis's sons lost an eye when an Israeli strike hit their home during the last conflict in 2024. Kharis says he had to pull his children out of the rubble with his own hands.
I have children. Why do they deserve this? I have lived through wars from my childhood until now, and we are still living through wars. Why? And for how long? We want it to be over with wars. I want to raise my children.
Meanwhile, British energy major BP has reported a sharp surge in profits, with first quarter earnings more than doubling year-on-year to $3.2 billion, its highest in over 2 years. The strong performance has been driven largely by a spike in oil trading gains linked to the volatility from the Iran conflict. Have a look at this report.
BP's first quarter profit more than doubled year-on-year to $3.2 billion. That was the energy major's highest total in 2.5 years. Tuesday's number beat expectations as the Iran war helped boost oil trading results. It's led to a spike in oil prices and seen European majors bring in billions of dollars from an energy supply crunch. BP had already flagged an exceptionally strong quarter for its trading desk. Its customers and products business, which includes the trading business, saw a profit of $3.2 billion before interest and tax. However, BP said fuel margins are expected to remain sensitive to the cost of supply and conditions in the Middle East. It also sees this year's reported upstream production to be lower due to the effects of the conflict. CEO Meg O'Neill said the company is, quote, heading in the right direction and strengthening the balance sheet. Tuesday's results were her first in charge at BP after taking over in April, when she became the firm's 5th chief executive since 2020. Investors liked what they heard, and BP shares were up close to 3% in early trade.
And now the war in Iran has triggered global shipping disruptions, and clinics treating severely malnourished children in Somalia have not been spared as well. Here's more in this report.
In the Somali city Baidoa, 11-month-old Ruwaidu is being treated for malnutrition with nutrient-rich peanut paste. But the global impact of the Iran war means supplies are running low. Ruwaidu has been on a life-saving daily regimen of the ready-to-use therapeutic food known as RUTF since March. Her mother, Mamino Adan Armin, says her daughter was, quote, skin and bones when she brought her to the clinic. But the farmer says she's also been turned away from the clinic twice because they'd run out of supplies of RUTF. Due to global shipping delays, aid agencies are now scrambling to access life-saving supplies. The International Rescue Committee Shukri Abdul Qadir said they had to cancel an order for peanut paste that would have fed over 1,000 children after it got stuck at a port in India.
The shipment was stuck at the port mainly because of disruptions to the supply chain.
The IRC says it has recently secured stock from a supplier in neighbouring Kenya, hoping to avoid further delays. But it's a race against time. Drought has pushed 6.5 million people, or 1 in 3 Somalis, into acute hunger. Nearly 500,000 children under the age of 5 suffer from severe acute malnutrition. Rama Abdi Karim has brought her malnourished grandchild to a clinic on the outskirts of the capital, Mogadishu. But she fears the worst. If supplies of RUTF and other treatments are cut off, she says her grandson will be on the brink of death.
And now the bitter legal fight between Elon Musk and the leading artificial intelligence firm OpenAI, led by Sam Altman, is going to court in California. Elon Musk and Sam Altman are all set for a legal showdown in California. The Tesla billionaire is seeking $150 billion in damages from OpenAI and its backer, Microsoft. Take a look at this report.
It has drawn protests outside the court and will likely see drama inside. Elon Musk and Sam Altman are set for a legal showdown in California. The Tesla billionaire is seeking $150 billion in damages from OpenAI and its backer Microsoft. That's according to a person involved in the case. Musk is set to argue that Altman and OpenAI co-founder Greg Brockman conned him into investing in the startup. He says they strayed from the non-profit mission to focus on profit rather than helping society, and he wants them both ousted. Reuters tech correspondent Deepa Sitharaman says the ChatGPT maker's likely response is clear.
I mean, OpenAI is fighting like hell to make sure that nothing happens to the company that even remotely approaches what Elon is asking for. You know, OpenAI's, their argument has been all along, Elon Musk is jealous. He's mad that he left the organization before it hit it big.
Court documents show Musk gave OpenAI seed money of about $38 million from 2016, before growing disenchanted and ultimately leaving the board. The startup subsequently restructured to become a for-profit entity. Its non-profit wing retains a stake, however, and would get any damages that Musk wins. Sitharaman says OpenAI will argue that he is really acting to benefit his own startup XAI, amid a fierce battle for leadership in the sector, and she says no one dares call the outcome.
I genuinely, every lawyer, every source I've talked to that's in and around this particular case, none of them feel comfortable making a prediction as to what could happen.
Jury selection for the Oakland court was completed Monday, with opening statements expected the following day. Silicon Valley heavy hitters including Musk, Altman and Microsoft boss Satya Nadella are all expected to testify. Any defeat could have unpredictable consequences for OpenAI, which has plans for a blockbuster IPO that could value it at $1 trillion. As for the protesters, they'd like to see both sides lose.
They have stated and run ad campaigns that they want to replace workers with machines. What is there left for us to do? What human economy will there be left after that? And then will have built the tools to oppress us for complaining about it. So there's nothing good that I see about this technology.
And with that, it's time for us to slip into a quick commercial breather. Keep watching News 9.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Water overflowing, what could it be?
Ahead of 2026 West Bengal Assembly Election, polarization in West Bengal sharpens.
टीएमसी सरकार के जाने का काउंटडाउन शुरू हो चुका है।
हम डिटेक्ट, डिलीट और डिपोर्ट ये पॉलिसी के तहत एक घुसपैठियों को बंगाल के बाहर निकालने का काम करेंगे।
There are 3 prime issues: citizenship, border, identity. Is it the Nirmam Sarkar versus May De Babu?
যতই করো হামলা জিতবে কিন্তু বাংলা।
Who will retain the throne in West Bengal? Can West Bengal look beyond the muddy water of violent politics?
From the ground, the questions that matter. The voices that shape the vote. India votes. Only on News 9.
Why has Iran stopped the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz?
They want to attack us, they want to target us, so we have to defend ourselves.
They are punishing countries outside the region as well, like India, and like countries in South and East Asia. This is completely unacceptable.
But it amounts more to harassment than anything else. The big problem that they've created now is the closure of the strait.
Ultimately, the main purpose of this exercise is, frankly, to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
We have to watch them carefully and closely as Israelis, but we have also to be patient and understand this is the nature of negotiations when it comes to Iran.
But even with a temporary pause, both are looking for deliverables for their political constituency.
Whenever they've got involved in a war on behalf of somebody else, there isn't been just an altruistic purpose. They've been involved in it for their own purpose as well.
What you saw me on the field and off the field is like chalk and cheese.
Is leadership acquired or leaders are born?
No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain.
My tendency is to go for magic, not for perfection.
I never give up. I like to win.
If you believe you can, you can.
Just me being here, it's a statement.
You define a concept called against all odds. You seem to be a destiny's child. When chips are down, the whole team could have looked up to you, said, Dada is still there.
Every time, whether I scored 100 or a Sachin scored 100 or a Rahul scored 100 or a Sehwag scored 100, the scoreboard said India won.
There is a quality about me which is why perhaps people feel I'm a perfectionist, because I don't get tired easily.
Let the kids know and the families know that one of the best ways to get a good education, go to a good school and a good college anywhere in the world is if you play a sport well.
How would it be possible for a person, ordinary person, for me to know?
ये acting कर रहा है या ये सच कर रहा है?
ये जो बात
I'm not a very good actor in real life. Real life मेरे चेहरे पे दिख जाता है झूठ बोल रही है.
In Germany, the biggest newspaper was written on the first page. This is a finishing from Lothar Matthäus' career. This was motivating me.
I was literally on my phone at home and they're like, oh, we have the results. We suggest that you remove your breasts. And I'm like, wait, what?
When I started stumbling and I started making the mistakes, that I realized that now that person who I have not forgiven 2 years back, now I know what he feels like.
Very important understanding of life, that you will only get opportunities if you're good. And if you're not good, don't expect opportunities.
The best example I could ever give is Abraham Lincoln, losing every election he ever had till he won the presidency.
You know, I actually have the feeling that my life hasn't started yet.
We all have 2 lives. The second one begins the day we realize that we only have 1 life.
Wow.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching News9. I'm Sabyasachi Roy Chaudhary. Let's cut straight to the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives at Sri Kashi Vishwanath Temple to offer prayers, set to inaugurate Uttar Pradesh's largest expressway, Ganga Expressway. After historic Phase 1 turnout, all eyes on Bengal Phase 2 voting. BJP tests TMC's fortress in crucial 142 seats that could shape the outcome for Bengal. Mahua Moitra, Abhishek Banerjee cast their votes. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee visits polling booth in her Bhabanipur Assembly constituency. In a first, CM accuses BJP of rigging polls. EVM glitch sparks clashes at polling booth in Howrah's Bali. CRPF personnel detained 2 people. Violence start to voting in second phase of Bengal polls. BJP agent alleges he was stopped outside booth and assaulted by TMC supporters. Trouble mounts for UP Singham in West Bengal. PIL filed in Supreme Court seeking the immediate removal of Ajaypal Sharma as a police observer for West Bengal polls. US President Donald Trump instructs aides to prepare for an extended blockade of Iran. According to Wall Street Journal, Donald Trump opts to continue squeezing Iran's economy and oil exports by preventing shipping to and from its ports. Viewers, West Bengal is witnessing a high-stakes second phase of assembly elections, with polling underway across 142 constituencies that could decisively shape the state's political future. Now, over 3.2 crore voters are eligible to cast their votes in this phase, with more than 1,400 candidates in the fray across key regions, including South Bengal and Kolkata. Now, viewers, early trends show steady participation, with voter turnout at 18.39% till 9 am, even as authorities maintain heavy deployment of central forces to ensure smooth polling. Now, viewers, the contest remains intense, with Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee facing a strong challenge from BJP, especially in the high-profile Bhabanipur seat, where Suvendu Adhikari is in the fray. Now, the Election Commission has highlighted strong enthusiasm among women and young voters, with long queues since early morning. However, sporadic incidents of tensions and EVM-related complaints have also been reported from some areas, keeping the atmosphere charged. Now, viewers, with extensive security arrangements in place, all eyes now on whether that TMC retains power or the BJP makes a decisive breakthrough, with results set to be declared on May 4th.
INS के जो वॉरशिप है और जो रफाल है वो डिप्लॉय करना बाकी है. आप वो भी कर दो. जो चीज आपको बांग्लादेश और पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ करना चाहिए वो आप बंगाल के लोगों के खिलाफ कर रहे हो और हमें बांग्लादेशी बुलाते हो. तो जो भय और भरोसा की बात करता है, भय और आतंक के परिवेश कौन बना रहे बंगाल में, वो लोग देख रहे हैं और इसका जवाब लोग देंगे. BJP can try every tricks from their rule book. They will fall flat on their faces when the results come out.
इस बार जो ये हम लोकतंत्र के बचाने की लड़ाई में लोग शामिल है। 27 लाख वोटर को काटा दिया गया है, तो और पहले 60 लाख। तो अब जो वोटर लिस्ट में जिनके नाम रह गए हैं वो डेफिनेटली सब 100% वोट देने आएंगे। इसीलिए वोटिंग परसेंटेज तो बहुत हाई होना ही है। ये सिंपल मैथमेटिक्स है। प्रतिशोध लेने का वोट दे रहे हैं, क्योंकि लास्ट 5 महीनों से केंद्र सरकार और चुनाव आयोग ने जो मजाक किया है लोगों के साथ, लोकतंत्र के साथ, लोग उनका अच्छा कड़ी जवाब लोग देंगे, और बल्कि पहले फेज में ऑलरेडी दे चुके हैं। तो आज वो होने वाला है। सो जो काम हमने शुरू किया था पहले फेज में, वो सेकंड फेज में खत्म होने वाला है।
बीजेपी के लिए कोई डू और डाई नहीं। हम 70-75 साल से राजनीति कर रहे हैं, धीरे धीरे हम लोग आगे बढ़े हैं। आज 21 राज्यों में हमारी सरकार है। माननीय मोदी जी को 3 बार लोगों ने चुना प्राइम मिनिस्टर। तो हमारी लड़ाई चलता रहता है। हमारी लड़ाई किसी एक चुनाव के लिए नहीं है, समाज परिवर्तन के लिए हम आए हैं। लोगों की जिंदगी में परिवर्तन हो, लोगों की और सामने परिवर्तन दिखे, विकास दिखे, इस प्रकार लड़ाई हम लड़ रहे हैं। एक प्रक्रिया है, यात्रा है हमारे लिए, हम लड़ते रहेंगे, आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे।
Now viewers, I'm being joined by my colleague Madhu Kalpita live from Bhabanipur Assembly and senior journalist Pratim Ranjan Bose. Thank you both of you for joining. Now Madhu Kalpita, क्या माहौल है भवानीपुर में? मुख्यमंत्री की अभी भी वहीं बैठी हुई है, और थोड़ा तस्वीर दिखाए, क्या अपडेट है भवानीपुर से?
देखिए, जो ममता बनर्जी जो यहाँ पर वो बैठे थे, वहाँ से अभी वो निकल चुके हैं। अभी दूसरे जगह, मैं अभी जहाँ पे खड़ी हूँ एकदम भवानीपुर पुलिस स्टेशन के सामने ही मैं हूँ। खबर यही मिल रहा है कि जिन लोगों को कल रात हुमकी दिया था, जिन लोगों को डराया था, धमकाया था, वो लोग शायद आ सकते हैं थाने में, आके रिपोर्ट लिखा सकते हैं। देखिए, ये जो भवानीपुर है, भवानीपुर में आज जो तस्वीरें हमने देखा, ये तस्वीरें शायद ही कभी हम देख पाते, क्योंकि ममता बनर्जी वो सुबह से चक्रबेड़िया जो इलाका है वहाँ पर वो बैठे थे। उनका जो बोलना था कि उनके टीम का एक काउंसिलर, तृणमूल काउंसिलर और इसके फैमिली को कल रात से उन लोगों को डराया धमकाया गया था, और इसीलिए ममता बनर्जी सुबह से वहां पर बैठे थे कि किसी भी तरह से कोई उन लोगों को परेशान ना कर पाए। कुछ देर बाद हमने देखा ममता बनर्जी अंदर गए एक बिल्डिंग के, वहां पे जो लोग थे उनसे बातें करने के लिए, और उसी टाइम पे पूरा सेंट्रल फोर्स, वो जो बिल्डिंग, वो जो एरिया है, पूरा एरिया घेर लिया था। फिर कुछ देर बाद उधर लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन बीजेपी के कैंडिडेट शुभेंदु अधिकारी वो पहुंच गए थे, और शुभेंदु अधिकारी पूरा इलाका जो है, इलाके में वो चल रहे थे और वो एलिगेशन दे रहे थे कि ममता बनर्जी वहां पर 50 गुंडा लेके बैठे हैं। लेकिन ममता बनर्जी वो जो बोल रहे हैं कि कल रात से उन लोगों को टीएमसी के वर्कर्स को डराया गया, धमकाया गया, कुछ लोगों को अरेस्ट किया गया, यही एलिगेशन हो रहे थे। तो कुछ ही टाइम के लिए मानिए कि वो जो इलाका है, बाहर सेंट्रल फोर्स, अंदर ममता बनर्जी और बाहर लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन बीजेपी के कैंडिडेट शुभेंदु अधिकारी थे। लेकिन ये जो भवानीपुर है, इस टाइम पे इलेक्शन के दिन सुबह सुबह यहाँ पे जो दिख रहा है, जो आम पब्लिक देख रहा है कि यहाँ पे कैसे ये लड़ाई चल रहा है। देखिए, ममता बनर्जी पहले से ही हमने देखा था, जब से ये इलेक्शन स्टार्ट हुआ था, तब से वो एक एलिगेशन ला रहे थे कि सीआरपीएफ के जो लोग हैं, जो जवान है, सेंट्रल फोर्स है, वो लोग ज्यादा एक्टिव है। आज जब ममता बनर्जी अंदर गए थे, उस बिल्डिंग के अंदर जब वो बैठे थे, तब बाहर जब सेंट्रल फोर्स ने पूरा घेर लिया था, पूरा इलाका घेर लिया था, इसी टाइम पे ममता बनर्जी और टीएमसी पार्टी फिर से एक बार एलिगेशन दे रहा है कि आज इलेक्शन के दिन भी सीआरपीएफ बहुत ज्यादा एक्टिव है।
Madhu Kalpita, बने रहिए। Now Mr. Bose, you have seen the ground situation in Bhabanipur. Mamata Banerjee and Shubhendu Adhikari both coming face to face. Mamata Banerjee raising serious allegations, stating that the BJP is rigging the polls, the CRPF and the observers are intimidating the Trinamool Congress party workers, and she has been on ground breaking the tradition. So do you see it as a nervousness from the Trinamool Congress Supremo, or is it a tactics from the Trinamool Congress?
I mean, whether it is, you call it a tactics or a nervousness, please understand that the age-old playbook of holding elections in West Bengal is broken by the EC, and it has seriously disrupted the playbook of the ruling politics. It is, I'm not talking, it is agnostic to Trinamool. All the ruling politics takes advantage of it's electioneering, as I say, it's nowhere in the country such a term exists. So it's basically area domination. Rigging is normalized. Mass rigging is normalized. So these are the violence. So that whole code is broken. Now the EC has broken the code to hold free and fair elections. I mean, politics apart, people are very happy with the election bandobast. So that creates a degree of nervousness to the old players in the game. That's it.
Now, Mr. Bose, how decisive? Now, Mr. Bose, how decisive is the 3 M's going to be in the polls in the South Bengal when we talk about Mahila, Muslim as well as the migrants? Because we know that the Mahila and the Muslim has been the decisive, but with the migrants coming in large number from different parts of the country to cast their vote, it is definitely for their existence, but it is something that it is difficult to predict this time.
Yes. Now, the Muslim vote is a constant to Trinamool. It has already super consolidated between 2021 and 2024. And the polling rate has been very high. There had been some deletions. Overall, there is no upside to this number. The migrant labours. Now, Trinamool had the advantage that Hindus voted less traditionally. So that advantage is gone now. Hindus are voting at par with the Muslims. So that is the game changer. And the entire net addition to the poll, to the votes, is by Hindus. So that is creating everyone in the tenterhooks. BJP, maybe expecting that they will vote for them, and Trinamool is worried that it might go against them. Because if you look at the statistics, roughly 60% Bengali Hindus, and TMC gets roughly 1 out of every 6 Bengali Hindu supports Trinamool. 1 to 1.5 it may be. So that makes, of course, it's not good equation for BJP. Sorry, for Trinamool. There are many other factors. For example, in Kolkata, traditionally, it has been the vote, the winner was decided by the slums, or let's say subalterns. This time, that advantage is gone because the voter list is down by 30%, and the rigging, the age-old contributor in the tally, so that's gone. So, these Bhadraloks, what you called Bengali Bhadraloks, so these, or you can say the flat apartment dwellers, these votes are going to make major sense in this year's election in Calcutta and the suburbs. And as you have rightly said, the women voters. Now, this is the code that can keep Mamata in power. We are unaware yet. There are two actually uncertainties. One is 18 to 24 age group, the Gen Z as you call them, and the women voters. How are they going to respond? I think the finally it is coming down to that.
Bose, please stay connected. Now, viewers, we are getting a breaking news. The BJP has leveled serious allegation of poll malpractice in Falta, with Amit Malviya claiming voters in several booths were prevented from voting for the BJP after the party symbol on EVMs was allegedly blocked with tape. Now, calling it the so-called Diamond Harbour model, the BJP linked the charge to TMC candidate Jahangir Khan and has demanded an immediate repoll in all affected booths. Now, specific booths have also been flagged by BJP as evidence, escalating the political confrontation in a constituency already under intense spotlight. Now, viewers, let's straight away go to my colleague Madhu Kalpita, who's still connected with us. Now, Madhu Kalpita, हमने जो देखा है कि बड़ी लंबी कतारें लग रही है पोलिंग बूथ के बाहर, आप ग्राउंड पे हैं, क्या बातचीत हुआ है आपका वोटर्स के साथ और क्या-क्या मुद्दे सामने आए हैं? क्या ईवीएम रिलेटेड कोई डिफिकल्टी सामने आई है भवानीपुर कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में जहां पे आप हैं?
চাইছিল তো আমাকেও বলেছে যে আমি উঠিয়ে নিয়ে যাবে আমাকে, আমি যেখানে কোনো মহিলা কেউ নেই, আমি সেটা কি করে ওরা পারে এই অবধি। তো এটা অনেকক্ষণ ধরে করেছে, ওরা অনেকক্ষণ ছিল।
কতক্ষণ ছিলেন তাও?
ওরা ছিল আধ ঘন্টা মতো ছিল।
আধ ঘন্টা মতো? আপনি তখন বাড়িতে একা?
হ্যাঁ, আমি একা ছিলাম, আমার ছেলেও এলো। তারপরে তো ছেলে তো আগেই ছিল বাড়িতে, ও ছিল ওপরে ছিল, ও তো খবর পাইনি চট করে। হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু ওরা বলেছিল আমরা ওপরে আপনার ঘরে যাবো। আমি বলেছি না।
মানে বাড়িতে কি তল্লাশির কোনো ইন্টেনশন ছিল?
আমি সেটা বলতে পারছি না ওদের কি ইন্টেনশন ছিল। ইন্টেনশনটা ভালো নিশ্চয়ই ছিল না, নাহলে আমাকে কেন বলবে যে তুলে নিয়ে যাবো আপনাকে। কোনো মহিলা পুলিশ নেই, কোনো কলকাতা পুলিশ নেই, কিচ্ছু নেই।
কোনো মহিলা পুলিশ ছিল না? মানে সবাই?
না, আমার কাছে এটা রয়েছে কোনো সিআরপিএফ এসব সেন্টার। হ্যাঁ, না, কেউ ছিল না, নো ওয়ান, কেউ ছিল না।
একবার হিন্দি में
এখানে একটু কমপ্লেনটা লজ করে নি।
एक बार हिंदी में बोल दीजिए, हिंदी में मैं पैचू कि आप ये जो तस्वीर दिखा रहे थे, ये कल रात आपके घर में सेंट्रल फोर्स आए थे?
हाँ, सेंट्रल फोर्स आए थे। फिर आके बहुत सारा बोला कि असीम बोस नहीं निकल पाएंगे कल, अगर ना निकले तो अच्छा है। तो मैंने बोला कि ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता है, उनको तो निकालना ही है, आप लोग कैसे मना कर सकते हो, क्रिमिनल तो है ही नहीं। तो फिर मुझे बहुत स्लैंग यूज़ किया मुझे मेरी तरफ। जब मेरा लड़का आया तो उनको वो जब स्लैंग जब यूज़ करता और मुझे जब बोल रहा था कि उठा के ले जाएंगे, तब मेरा लड़का वीडियो करने जा रहा था मोबाइल से, तो उसका मोबाइल लेके मैक्सिमम वीडियो डिलीट कर दिया।
ম্যাক্সিমাম ভিডিও ডিলিট করে। দিদি, তাহলে এই যে ছবিটা আপনি দেখাচ্ছেন, এই কেন্দ্রীয় বাহিনীর এই জওয়ানরা কাল রাতে আপনাদের বাড়িতে গিয়েছিল আপনাকে ধমকানো চমকানোর জন্য?
হ্যাঁ, নিশ্চয়ই।
মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়কে সবটা জানিয়েছেন?
হ্যাঁ, উনি दीदी सब जाने।
আপনি কি এখন থানায় অভিযোগ জানান?
হ্যাঁ, নিশ্চয়ই।
अभी आप देख सकते हो जो मेरे साथ जो थे अभी टीएमसी काउंसिलर असीम बसु, उनके वाइफ थे। और ये जो एलिगेशन कि कुछ टाइम पहले हमने दिखाया था कि ममता बनर्जी गए थे इनसे बात करने के लिए। क्या हुआ था, कल रात असीम बोस जो काउंसिलर है वो घर में नहीं थे, लेकिन उनका वाइफ वो अकेले घर में थे, उनका बेटा था, और उन दोनों अकेले थे घर में। उसी टाइम पे सेंट्रल फोर्स और पुलिस जाके उन लोगों को डराया धमकाया। ये कहा गया कि असीम बोस को आज सुबह घर से ना निकले ये बोलकर डराया। 30 to 40 मिनट्स सेंट्रल फोर्स अंदर थे, यही एलिगेशन कर रहा है असीम बोस एंड उनकी वाइफ। अभी भवानीपुर थाने में आए हैं उन लोग, जो कंप्लेन है वो कंप्लेन लॉन्च करने के लिए वो आए हैं। कुछ टाइम पहले ममता बनर्जी खुद जाके इन दोनों से बात करके आए थे, और कुछ टाइम पहले ममता बनर्जी पूरा का पूरा जो सिचुएशन है वो सिचुएशन मॉनिटर कर रहा है। अभी ये कंप्लेन लॉन्च होने के बाद क्या करते हैं, कौन से स्टेप लेते हैं, यही देखेंगे हम लोग।
मधुकुलपिता, देखिए ये बड़ा आरोप है टीएमसी के काउंसिलर की तरफ से लगाया जा रहा है सेंट्रल फोर्सेस के खिलाफ। और वहीं देखिए बीजेपी जो है फालता में एलिगेशन लगा रही है कि चुनाव को लेकर मैल प्रैक्टिस चल रहा है, तृणमूल कांग्रेस मैल प्रैक्टिस कर रही है, और बीजेपी ये डिमांड कर रहा है कि जहां जहां मैल प्रैक्टिस चल रही है वहां फिर से रीपोलिंग हो। तो आप इस वक्त भवानीपुर में मौजूद हैं, आपने वोटर्स के साथ बातचीत किया है, क्या वोटर्स ने कुछ आरोप लगाए हैं ईवीएम को लेके, ईवीएम मैलफंक्शन को लेके, या हर पोलिंग बूथ में ईवीएम सही तरीके से चल रहा है भवानीपुर में?
देखिए, अभी तक तो कोई ऐसा आरोप भवानीपुर में जो वोटर्स है उन्होंने नहीं लगाया, लेकिन ममता बनर्जी एक बात बार बार कह रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे जो सेंट्रल फोर्स है वो सेंट्रल फोर्स लोग बहुत ज्यादा एक्टिव है। ये एलिगेशन बार बार कर रहा है। आप कुछ ही समय पहले आप देखा कि असीम बोस, उसके वाइफ, उन लोगों को भी कल रात से डराया धमकाया गया था, और ममता बनर्जी के भाई कार्तिक बनर्जी, उनको भी डराया था। और कार्तिक बनर्जी उन्होंने एक एलिगेशन लगाया कि ये सेंट्रल फोर्स और पुलिस लोग जो है वो सारे लोग कल रात से बहुत सारे आम पब्लिक को, उन लोगों को भी अरेस्ट कर रहा है, यही एलिगेशन उठ रहा है। लेकिन देखिए, ये भवानीपुर में जो ईवीएम के बात आप कर रहे थे, अभी तक भवानीपुर का कोई पब्लिक जो जनरल वोटर है उन्होंने अभी तक ईवीएम को लेकर कोई भी मुद्दा नहीं उठाया।
जी मधुकुलपिता, now Mr. Bose, you heard the allegations coming in from the Trinamool Congress councillor against the CRPF. Now the BJP says that the voters in Falta are being prevented for voting for the BJP after the party symbol on EVMs were allegedly blocked with tape. Now, in the first phase, we have seen that the polling went quite peacefully. There was no repolling ordered or demanded by the BJP or the Trinamool Congress. But right now, during the second phase, the BJP is demanding that wherever malpractices are going on, there should be repolling done.
Right. So Falta, for example, I mean, that area records the highest polls, as you are aware, the Diamond Harbour Lok Sabha. country's highest margin and etc. One can understand that such things are a little suspicious. It has been in the past as well. From Arambagh, CPIM's one MP used to be elected with the record margins in the country. And that area is well known for the political malpractices. So this is, of course, what is going on. But overall, I should say, given that the stakes are involved, see, this is the phase which will ensure whether TMC can retain power, period. And this is, the reverse is also true, whether BJP can make any dent. So that said, the allegations and counter allegations are very less. The areas on which since morning the some kind of tension has emerged, like as in Bhangor, Degonga, Minakha, these all are notorious areas. So basically heavy bandobast is doing the trick. They all are accusing the CAPF of overaction. You might have noticed that the reactions is that overreacting. CRPF is overreacting. Now, what is overreacting? They are supposed to maintain. I saw that in the past, she was alleging that some police officer, he was accusing some officer in charge of a thana of, taking action on Trinamool supporters. Now, police is supposed to do that. Whether they are not supposed to differentiate between Trinamool and BJP. And the only incident of injury that has taken place at Chapra, it is a purely Muslim-dominated area where BJP has no prospect. So I think that is the overall picture. I don't see major violence. I don't see major aberrations. It's for West Bengal standard. Believe you me, I have, since my childhood, I have never seen such peaceful election.
Well, Mr. Bose, please stay connected. Now, viewers, we are getting a breaking news where BJP candidate from Bashunti Assembly constituency, Vikas Shordar, has alleged an attack on his convoy by Trinamool Congress workers, and Sardar claims that around 200 to 250 people armed with rods and bamboo sticks targeted his car, smashing windows and creating panic in the area. Now, he further alleged that his driver was also assaulted during the incident. Now, calling it gundagari, Sardar accused the TMC of intimidation across constituency. Now, the Trinamool Congress has not yet responded to these allegations. Meanwhile, the incident is likely to escalate the political tensions in the state as campaigning intensifies. Now, viewers, we have the reaction of the BJP candidate himself.
200 और 250 जो टीएमसी गुंडे लोग मेरा ऊपर अटैक किया, वो गुंडागिरी किया और बम्बू और लोहा के रॉड लेकर के आर्म्स लेकर के मार रहा था। इतना मेरा वो कार पे भांगचूर किया, हमारा खुद मर्डर करने के लिए प्रेस रहा। मेरा जो सिक्योरिटी गार्ड, उसका जो लाइसेंस गन, वो गन छीन लिया। वो गन छीन करके मेरा जो सिक्योरिटी गार्ड उसको भूमि पे फैल दिया, लात मार।
Now, viewers, let me straight away go to my colleague Madhu Kalpita, who's still with us. Now, Madhu Kalpita, ये देखिए बाशुंती असेंबली में विकास शॉर्दार जो बीजेपी के कैंडिडेट है, उनका ये आरोप है कि उनके कॉन्वॉय के ऊपर हमला हुआ और हमला जो है टीएमसी कार्यकर्ताओं ने किया है और उन्होंने आरोप ये लगाया है कि 200 से 250 लोग जो हैं उनके हाथों में डंडे थे, बैम्बू स्टिक्स थे और उनके कॉन्वॉय को टारगेट किया गया है। Now, viewers, this is a breaking news which is coming right now, where the BJP candidate from Bashunti Assembly constituency, Vikas Shordar, has alleged an attack on his convoy by the Trinamool Congress workers. Shordar claims that around 200 to 250 people armed with rods and bamboo sticks targeted his car, smashing windows and creating panic in the area. Now, viewers, he further alleged that his driver was assaulted during the incident. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Bose, for giving your insightful details. And viewers, the polling is underway in the state of West Bengal, the all-important South Bengal, which is the bastion of Trinamool Congress Supremo Mamata Banerjee. Now viewers, with that, it's time for a short break. Please stay tuned to News9.
After a blockbuster first season, where corporate giants and industry leaders ruled the court, TV9 Network presents the ultimate corporate badminton championship Season 2. A battle of skill, speed and supremacy, with a massive 5 lakh rupee prize pool across categories. At Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy, Gachibowli, Hyderabad, from the 15th to the 17th May 2026. The court is set. Let the battles begin. Catch the action only on TV9 Network. To register, log on to www.tv9x.com.
Associate sponsor KL deemed to be university. Special partners Campa Sure, Shukar hai, Sure hai. Venue partner Pulela Gopichand Badminton Academy.
Where there is self-reliance, modernity and continuous progress, that is the grand gateway to prosperity. South Gujarat. 20 years ago, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi launched Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. Today, this initiative has evolved as Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conferences right at the doorstep of Surat under leadership of Honorable Chief Minister Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel. This conference will become a medium of progress for many sectors, including diamond, textile, chemicals, pharma and food processing, and will generate new employment opportunities. A warm welcome to the Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference in South Gujarat. 1st and 2nd May 2026, Surat.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Welcome back, viewers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi to offer prayers during his visit to the city. Now, visuals show the Prime Minister performing darshan and taking part in puja rituals at the temple. Now, one of the most revered shrines dedicated to Lord Shiva and a major spiritual center. Now, during the visit, the Prime Minister offering prayers and sought blessings at the temple complex. Now, security arrangements had been tightened in and around the area as devotees and local residents gather nearby. Now, the visit came amid a packed schedule, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi continuing a series of engagements in his parliamentary constituency of Varanasi. Now, later in the day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Ganga Expressway in Hardoi district. Now, viewers, these were the visuals that came in when Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi.
Shabaya Gantara Shuchi Pundarika Kapna Abro Akari Kanjisho Rashashabaram Nasyadama Anuvadama Vahama Dayasaswa Dubhyaya Cha Nanyaya Cha Prasuvarihi Ashvari Vashaditvari Virudha Paraishava Durvankuran Samarapayami Kashi Sveshwara Sambasada Shivaya Namaha
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 594-kilometer Ganga Expressway, and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will also be present on the occasion. Now, built on at an estimated cost of about 36,230 crore, Ganga Expressway in Uttar Pradesh is Uttar Pradesh's longest expressway and one of India's biggest greenfield road projects, and the 6-lane access controlled corridor, expandable to 8 lanes, links Meerut to Prayagraj across 12 districts. Now, it also comes with a much larger ambition to function not just as a road but as an industrial, logistics and development corridor. Moving on, viewers, a major fire broke out at a housing society in Ghaziabad, and fire broke out at Gaur Green Avenue. Now, the blaze initially started on the 9th floor of the 13-story building. Subsequently, the fire spread rapidly, engulfing approximately 6 to 7 flats. And around 7 flats have been completely reduced to ashes. More than 20 fire tenders are currently present at the scene working to extinguish the flames. Fortunately, as soon as the fire erupted, all residents present in the affected homes managed to evacuate safely and no one remained trapped inside. Now, viewers, the intensity of the fire was such that it spread from one tower to an adjacent one, engulfing 2 additional flats. The entire society has been evacuated. Now, it is suspected that the fire was caused by a short circuit issue, and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has taken cognizance of the fire incident in Ghaziabad district. Chief Minister instructs officials to immediately reach the scene and expedite relief operations.
अब कोई कैजुअलिटी नहीं है, कुछ लोग फंसे हुए थे, फायर सर्विस ने उनको सुरक्षित बाहर निकाल लिया है। ये 5 से 6 फ्लैट थे और 9वीं फ्लोर से लेके 11वीं फ्लोर तक कुछ फ्लैट बंद थे, कुछ खुले हुए थे और दरवाजे तोड़ते हुए, कड़ी मशक्कत करते हुए आग को बुझाया जा रहा है। इस समय तक हम लोगों ने आग को पूरी तरह से कवर कर लिया है। हमारी 17 से ऊपर गाड़ियां घटनास्थल पर मौजूद हैं, हाइड्रोलिक भी मौजूद है, साथ ही SDRF की, सिविल डिफेंस की, नोएडा CFO, नोएडा की टीम और गाजियाबाद की पूरी सभी अधिकारी कर्मचारियों की टीम यहाँ मौजूद है। हमने आग को पूरी तरह से काबू कर लिया है।
गाजियाबाद की गौर ग्रीन एवेन्यू सोसाइटी में बुधवार सुबह फ्लैट में अचानक आग लग गई। आप देख सकते हैं आग कितनी ज्यादा है। 9वें फ्लोर पर पहले ये आग लगी और 13 फ्लोर की ये मंजिल है। धीरे धीरे ये आग ऊपर की तरफ बढ़ी और देखेंगे आप लगभग 7 से ज्यादा जो फ्लैट हैं वो इस आग की चपेट में आकर पूरी तरीके की खाक हो चुके हैं। अभी भी आग घरों जो फ्लैट हैं उनके बाहर किस तरीके से लपटे निकल रही है आप देख सकते हैं। 20 से ज्यादा फायर टेंडर्स इस वक्त मौके पर मौजूद हैं और आग को बुझाने की जो कोशिश है उसको अभी किया जा रहा है। आप देख सकते हैं कि आग कितनी ज्यादा है। लगभग 9 बजे के आसपास ये आग लगी थी और इसके बाद ये जो आग थी वो धीरे धीरे जो दूसरे फ्लोर्स पर फैली और उसके बाद लगभग 6 से 7 फ्लैट को अपनी चपेट में ले लिया। आप देख सकते हैं आग का विकराल रूप, धुआं काफी ऊपर तक आसमान में जा रहा है और जो लोग इन फ्लैट्स में थे, पूरी बिल्डिंग में थे, टावर में, वो लोग काफी तेजी से बाहर निकले। फिलहाल पूरी सोसाइटी को यहां पर इन फ्लैट से निकाल दिया गया है, उनको खाली करा दिया गया, लेकिन आप देखेंगे कि अभी भी जो आग है वो अपने विकराल रूप में है। 20 से ज्यादा जो फायर टेंडर्स हैं पूरी तरीके से ये लगभग 7 जो फ्लैट हैं वो आग में जलकर राख हो चुके हैं। फायर टेंडर्स पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि आग पर काबू पाया जा सके, लेकिन आग लगातार बढ़ती जा रही है। आग की लपटें आप देख सकते हैं कि कितनी ज्यादा है। धू धू करके ये पूरी बिल्डिंग जो है अब आग की चपेट में आ रही है। 7 से ज्यादा फ्लैट, जो दूसरा टावर था उसको भी आग ने अपनी चपेट में ले लिया है। फिलहाल आग पर काबू करने की यहां पर कोशिश की जा रही है।
Moving on, viewers, PIL has now been moved in the Supreme Court challenging the Election Commission's appointment of UP IPS officer Ajaypal Sharma as election observer in West Bengal. Now, the petitioner has sought his urgent removal, alleging the officer is partisan and accusing him of threatening political candidates ahead of phase 2 polling. Now, the EC, the West Bengal CEO and Ajaypal, as well as West Bengal Department of Home and Health Affairs, have all been named in the petition. Now, this comes after a major political storm over Sharma's visit to the residence linked to Trinamool Congress candidate Jahangir Khan in Falta, where a viral video showed the officer issuing a stern warning over alleged intimidation complaints. Now, the Trinamool Congress has called it interference and intimidation, and the BJP has defended it as strict poll enforcement, turning the controversy into a full-blown political flashpoint. Now, known as UP Singham Cop, Sharma's deployment in violence-prone South Chobbish Pargona has already triggered fierce protest and a war of words. And viewers hear more in this report.
मैं जा रहा हूं फाल्टा की तरफ, और फाल्टा की तरफ इसलिए क्योंकि अजय पाल शर्मा भी इधर ही जा रहे हैं और इसी इलाके में हैं सीआरपीएफ के डीजी भी इस वक्त मौजूद हैं और लगभग 2 किलोमीटर लंबा काफिला है। आपको जानकर आश्चर्य होगा, मैंने दिखलाया था किस तरह से 3-3 बसें हैं, सुरक्षा के भारी इंतजामात। जब अजय पाल शर्मा निकलते हैं तो उनके साथ और लाइट्स भी है, कैमरा भी है और एक्शन अब देखने की बात हो क्या एक्शन होता है। जिस तरीके से उन्होंने कल एक्शन लिया था, जो बातें जहांगीर खान के घर के पास जाकर के, आज अब ये देखना होगा कि क्या एक्शन होता है। लेकिन जिस हाई वोल्टेज की आप बात करें, तमाम चीज़ें हाई हैं, बूथ पर भी हाई, बूथ पर मतदाताओं का मिजाज भी हाई है और जो टीएमसी के और बीजेपी के जो कार्यकर्ता हैं, जो वहाँ पोलिंग एजेंट्स हैं, उनका भी मिजाज बिल्कुल हाई है और ये हाई परसेंटेज में भी दिख रहा है। चुनाव प्रचार भी बहुत हाई रहा, पोलिंग भी बहुत हाई और उसके बाद से तमाम सुरक्षा बलों का जो वो कहते हैं कि हाउ इज द जोश, वो जोश भी हाई आपको दिखेगा। अजय पाल शर्मा हो या फिर सीआरपीएफ की पूरी जो बटालियन है, पूरी जो टीम है, वो आपको इस वक्त बिल्कुल हाई जोश में दिखेगी।
Now viewers, continuing his marathon temple visit ahead of the Tamil Nadu Assembly Election results, TVK Chief Vijay is scheduled to visit the Shirdi Sai Baba temple today. Now this comes after his earlier visit to the revered Tiruchendur Murugan temple, which holds significant religious importance in the state. And the timing of these temple visits is being closely watched as they come just ahead of the May 4th result, marking TVK's debut in Tamil Nadu politics. And viewers, the visit are being seen as both spiritual engagements and politically symbolic moves during a crucial phase for the party. Meanwhile, heavy police security is expected to be deployed across the temple premises and surrounding areas to manage crowds and ensure law and order during the visit. Viewers, and now on to Karnataka, where State Education Department has banned inappropriate and obscene dances in schools and cultural programs. Now, the Karnataka Department of School Education and Literacy has issued a statewide circular banning obscene or vulgar dance performances during school cultural events and annual day celebration. Now, viewers, the order, effective immediately, mandates that all educational institutions, including government, aided and private schools, must ensure that programs are value-based and reflect the state's rich cultural heritage and moral standards. Now, this circular comes in the backdrop of recent complaints regarding students performing to popular film songs with inappropriate lyrics or choreography. Now, under the new guidelines, schools and head management committees will be held directly responsible for the selection of songs and dance themes. Now, the department has encouraged schools to prioritize classical music, folk arts and patriotic themes to foster a more wholesome educational environment, warning that any violation of these standards will lead to strict disciplinary action against the school administration. Moving on, viewers, the Supreme Court has drawn a firm constitutional line on the management of religious institutions while hearing a batch of petitions linked to the Sabrimala temple case. Now, a 9-judge constitution bench led by Chief Justice Surya Kant has made it clear that while religious bodies have the right to manage their affairs, that authority cannot operate without structure or override constitutional principles. Now, the court underlined that there cannot be a situation of unchecked functioning within the religious spaces. Now, it emphasized that every institution, whether a temple or a dargah, must have clearly defined modalities and norms to ensure orderly functioning. Now, regulation, the bench observed, is essential not only for management but also for maintaining balance between faith and constitutional values. Now, at the same time, the court stressed that such regulatory powers cannot cross the boundaries set by the Constitution, and practices that violate principles like equality and non-discrimination remain subject to judicial scrutiny. Now, the observations come as the bench examines broader questions around religious freedom, essential practices and the right of denominations. Now, the proceedings also touched upon arguments related to Sufi tradition and denominational rights within Islam, highlighting the diversity of religious practices in India. However, the court indicated the challenge of defining what constitutes an essential religious practice, noting that judicial reforms may find it difficult to lay down rigid parameters. Now, this hearing gained significance in the backdrop of the 2018 verdict, which allowed entry of women of all age groups into the Sabrimala temple, striking down earlier restrictions. Now, with the matter now before a larger bench, the focus is on balancing religious autonomy with constitutional morality, and the final outcome could have far-reaching implications not just for Sabrimala but for the governance of religious institutions across the country. Well, viewers, with that, it's time for a short break. Please stay tuned to News9.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
नए बिरला ओपस एक्सटीरियर पेंट पे 16 साल तक की वारंटी। कौन मानता है? मैं मानता हूँ। मैं भी। मैं भी मानता हूँ। जिसने भी लिया मानता है। नया बिरला ओपस पेंट दे रहा है 16 साल तक की वारंटी, इसलिए तो है नए जमाने का नया पेंट।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
Where there is self-reliance, modernity and continuous progress, that is the grand gateway to prosperity. South Gujarat. 20 years ago, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi launched Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit. Today, this initiative has evolved as Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conferences right at the doorstep of Surat under leadership of Honorable Chief Minister Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel. This conference will become a medium of progress for many sectors, including diamond, textile, chemicals, pharma, and food processing, and will generate new employment opportunities. A warm welcome to the Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference in South Gujarat. 1st and 2nd May 2026, Surat.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.
Welcome back, viewers. Britain's King Charles told the US Congress on Tuesday that despite an age of uncertainty and conflict in Europe and the Middle East, the UK and the US will always be staunch allies united in defending democracy.
Whatever our differences, whatever disagreements we may have, we stand united in our commitment to uphold democracy, to protect all our people from harm, and to salute the courage of those who daily risk their lives in the service of our countries. The story of the United Kingdom and the United States is at its heart a story of reconciliation, renewal, and remarkable partnership. From the bitter divisions of 250 years ago, we forged a friendship that has grown into one of the most consequential alliances in human history. I pray with all my heart that our alliance will continue to defend our shared values with our partners in Europe and the Commonwealth and across the world. And and that we ignore the clarion calls to become ever more inward-looking.
Viewers, Britain's King Charles told the US Congress that the same unyielding resolve seen after the September 11, 2001 attack on the United States was needed for the defense of Ukraine and her most courageous people